It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. Steve likes the weed. Steve likes the weed. By DMT. Let DMT. Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Hoosiers with the drink. Sophisticated blasphemy. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. So let's set our minds free for the singularity. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, sentient artificial intelligence, all you smearers alike. Get a bidet, you cave people. What's the matter with you? Welcome to the Hoosier Sophisticate Show.
And we open with a bidet.
We do open with a bidet. We're going to get you up on this, Mike. Guys, we are joined tonight by one of my absolute favorite people on all of planet Earth, especially here in the Missouri cannabis industry, our buddy Josh Loftis from Home Grow Solutions.
Howdy, everybody.
We got a big week in cannabis happening. We got a big trade show coming up next week, a week from today. That whole thing's going to be popping off. Steve has not shown up since he went on a little fishing trip with the boys over the weekend. They had a HooSoph fishing club fishing trip down to the Niangua.
And they actually caught fish.
I can't even. They caught a buzz. That's what they call a buzz fish. What they caught.
When they left, I thought, oh, this is just a joke. But they caught fish. Real fish.
Hey, what are y'all doing?
Oh, there he is. There he is.
What are y'all doing, guys?
Where you been, dude? You
okay?
All right.
Hey, guys, what's up? I got a tackle box, man.
Thanks, man.
Free fishing gear.
Get that thing out of here. I'm back from the fishing trip, guys.
Tell me
I'm back. Josh is here.
Where's our fillets? Where's our fish?
Guys, we caught a bunch of fish, man. I don't know what to tell you. Guys caught a bunch of fish. Just got in a few minutes ago. Welcome to Hoosier Sophisticate. Did I miss much?
No, you didn't.
You guys go on directly at 7 because I'm about 8 minutes late. So I missed 8 minutes of the
give
show.
or take. 7:05.
Save some fish in the river for the rest of us.
Oh my God, Josh is here. I did not. I fished all them holes out.
All of them.
I fished all the holes out of there.
These fish tacos.
Man, it was a good time. This is my future fishing buddy right here. We're gonna go to the Trade Fest and we're gonna tear it up.
We're gonna jug line. We're gonna do big catfish.
We're gonna do whatever you want, jugging, fishing,
Hopefully,
fisting.
John Hunt won't back out.
Oh, John Hunt, if you're listening right now, I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to me good. If you don't join us fishing, you're a pussy. Okay.
That is what I call.
I'll say it. I'll do
fuck
it right out there. John Hunt, come with us fishing. Come to the Grow Trade Fest.
Hey, it's John Hunt passed along a tiny little bit of wisdom to us a long time. He heard it from Aristotle. This is an age-old philosophy here, and that's don't chaz the banger, bro. Don't chaz the banger, Aristotle.
And you know, if John Hunt gets philosophical, you better listen.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's about to get real weird. I don't know if they're joining us on the Mycelial Media YouTube channel. I don't know if you're joining us on Periscope. I don't know if you're joining us on the Facebook page. But I just want to say welcome. Welcome to Hoosier Sophisticate, because we got a guy who's going to help us break down the cannabis stuff. And maybe we'll get a little bit into fishing too, because I got the fever, guys.
It's that time of year. I'm dying.
This picture you see behind us right here, take a look. That's from the fishing trip. We got that coming up, and I am so proud of a Bobby BattleHawk video we have coming up later in the show.
He's a Southside treasure. He's a Southside treasure. It was a shame, getting to meet up with him. I was really hoping to be able to see that Roadrunner. It's a shame it was in the shop, man.
Well, he's in a caravan. He was in a
caravan. Mopar no car, he says.
Were the Kragers getting polished?
He's getting the old 440. He's getting it stroked out.
Getting bored out.
Somewhere around 460. Somewhere
getting bored out.
Gonna be some thin walls on that engine, boy.
Ooh.
Who is this guy?
Torque.
Who is this guy? Where'd you find this guy?
Listen,
I crawled out from under a rock.
Who is this guy?
As you know, I spent half of my life in the Queen City of the Ozarks, Springfield, Missouri. I like to consider myself an Ozarkian of sorts.
We consider you an Ozarkian.
Yeah, for sure. I think
he's got fans on the line.
He's a big deal.
What's up?
Well, I think that's maybe where we should start out. people who are maybe tuning in for the first time might not know that for the last few years on terrestrial radio and on the internet, we have talked about cannabis and psychedelics, because it's one of the most important things in the world to us, and we think that it can change the entire health outlook, both physically and mentally. Both of those things can happen. And Josh is a guy he's loaded with some knowledge.
He's loaded with something.
You know, after this many years, if something hadn't sunk in by now, I need to lay down and quit.
Fair enough. No. Yeah, get your face in it. Hey,
right
hey,
up in here.
Get your little nose on it. Just put your little nose on it like this.
I'm gonna let you hold
You
it.
just put your nose on, Josh.
Oh God!
Just put your nose
This
on it.
feels good. It feels good. Yeah, get a screenshot of all three of us doing this.
You know,
Just getting a little nose in it.
We need sense.
All right, let's get a. We can get people to watch this. That's my game. See how long I can get people to watch me do really uncomfortable shit. That's Steve's game. Actually, it's not my game.
Who holds the record here?
Steve.
Is my question.
Steve, I cower and.
I was on the phone with someone that we barely knew, and he kept replying very silently. He would wait like 2-3 seconds and then start. To the point where me and him, I'm going to see how long he'll be silent for. I was like, yep, sounds good, And me and him both sat there for what, 25 seconds?
40 seconds,
we were dying, laughing. And then I'm like, did we get disconnected? He's like, no. I'm like, what? This guy's a fucking killer. This guy's a goddamn killer. Oh,
that is the guy.
In silence for that long.
That is the guy.
It was Josh. I forgot it was actually Josh when we first met him.
Let's talk first. Before we talk about 128, I want to talk about just cannabis in general and what Home Grow Solutions is.
Yeah, who is this guy?
Because with the medical bill and some of the caps that have been imposed by the industry, there are a lot of people talking about how Home Grow and the caregiver model is going to be the only way to get people the medicine that they need while we're trying to figure out this whole political landscape.
It most definitely is going to be the only way to get affordable medicine. We went down and visited our friend John Hunt at their new shop in Conway, Arkansas over the weekend. $420 ounces. Edibles are $1 a milligram.
I'll punch someone in the
$1
mouth
a
if they
milligram,
try to charge
folks.
me $420.
Right? But there were big differences that I noticed between Arkansas's program and ours. Sorry to just jump in.
Yeah, no, please do.
128.
Spit it.
But proponents of 128 have been touting how we are allowed more licenses than other states. While this may be true, there's a caveat there. For instance, Arkansas has 5 cultivators. They have unlimited canopy.
Oh, wow.
They can grow 10
What is it,
million
30,000 in Missouri?
Yeah.
Okay.
But down there, the 5 cultivators can do 10 million square feet of flowering canopy if they so choose.
Okay.
And these guys are wanting to sell weed. They're going to expand, and they're going to get their costs down eventually.
Sure.
Whereas in Missouri, the way ours is and the way licenses have been limited and the way 128 is written almost verbatim, we're going to see this issue. High cost to the patient and the consumer. If it does make rec, it's going to be bad.
So what does that look like? Let's just break it down like they're all 5 at home and they don't understand anything. Because, Josh, here's the deal. We put a lot of time into putting together informational videos, but do you know what gains traction? A power Hoosier coming in here and talking about minor league football. That's what gets them going.
And especially from my home grow business, I still have people who don't know that DHSS has rules on a website.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of these. So education is important.
So you recently went to the Capitol. I know we saw Fraker, and who was with Fraker getting kind of grilled? If you
that
want to
was
call
his
it.
attorney or the department's
attorney. Okay, and what I'm hearing, the biggest thing that has been the biggest thing for me is part of the biggest thing is the veterans tax. They just keep saying veterans tax, and now I recently heard that maybe some of the veterans taxes are going to be used in those lawsuits.
Yes.
What'd you hear?
DHSS is explicitly stated.
Yes, and I attend the trade meetings every month in Springfield. Months ago, September, October-ish, Fraker was letting us know that they were planning for litigation.
Okay.
I don't think they expected 500 to 600 appeals.
Yeah. Why would they not expect that, though? I mean,
right.
Shit.
And it's my understanding that they hired 25 attorneys today, and these are all outside attorneys. These are Who knows? $250 to $600, $800.
How many? 25?
25.
So, like, ooh, on average, you're talking about probably $50K in fees per attorney's office. Well over $1 million. If at that's I think a pretty conservative estimate.
They estimated $1 million, I believe, because the guy in charge of DHSS's money sat in the room with us Wednesday as well.
Okay.
And he expected $1 million to start and could go as high as $2 to $4 million on attorney fees.
How much have they've only made what they've made off of licenses, right?
Yes, but they are sitting at like 18 million. They've brought in 21 million, is what he said at the hearing the other day, and they've already spent 3. So the coffers are sitting at about 18 million.
What if they spent $3 million on?
Well, they didn't even.
Well,
they've
they've
paid
had-
to have the licenses.
I believe they are sitting at 47 or 48 full-time staff.
Okay.
You know, they've had to do an office.
Okay.
And
Fair enough. Government costs money. Bureaucracy costs money.
it does.
Oh shit. Okay, so I think the question I get asked most is like, what exactly is going on? In your opinion, what has happened since the very beginning of licenses being granted? In your opinion, how do you think things have worked out?
I think that my own personal view,
Yes.
there are higher powers involved who have requested that licensing be limited.
Would these be lawyers? Because when you just said that, I just thought like lawyers are kind of coming out good with the both ends. But there's only a few,
these people came from different backgrounds.
Okay.
But I do believe that the state in general wants to keep this very limited.
Feel
You
free
know,
to drop
one
the
thing
name
that
of
that
names.
stuck out in my mind. I wish I could. I'm
mean,
not that bold yet. I still have
okay.
to work in this industry for a few years.
Yeah, good. Make a good decision. We'll hire you. I mean, fuck, if he's an outlaw.
Really?
What do you think this fucking gig pays?
Yeah,
I can't even
whatever.
afford a broke down Roadrunner
He'd
to
be
shop,
right
man.
behind Mike Ote in our list. Yeah, Mike ain't. None of us making shit. It was pretty fun. It was a fun gig.
I'm not either. So
I'm not
there's
crying.
It was a fun gig.
I'm not crying.
I'm not crying. Me neither. Are we crying? Are all three of us crying?
that. You know what? We could.
We could. We
Wait,
could.
you know
might.
what? We probably all need to purge a little
We
bit.
might. Oh, I'll purge, baby.
I've purged plenty in the last
Okay,
month.
so there's some shadowy figures at the head of this thing. Is that what? Because that's kind of what I believe to a set extent.
Well, I think
but
with
usually
anything.
that's not true. Usually it's a committee of people, and it's very obvious that people would put themselves in positions to succeed when they know things are coming.
There were certain questions asked last Wednesday at the hearing and answers given that opened my eyes some.
Okay.
Lyndall Fraker was asked how he got his job.
Okay.
He got a phone call from the governor's office. Mike and him served as representatives together, so there's that connection. Ben, there's just so much wrong with everything. We got a 5-minute recess, and I got to spend some time talking with Fraker personally. We walked the hall. Great story for you all out there. We discussed policy at the Capitol, Lyndall Fraker and I, at the urinal.
Why not?
I'm new to the whole Capitol thing pretty much, and I did not know that when you got 3 minutes, you take them wherever you can. So we discussed policy over a good piss. And I felt as though my words fell on deaf ears. I tried to explain the black market and how that plays into this. Little background, I used to grow a lot of black market cannabis right here in Missouri.
Oh fuck!
30 years ago, I planted
shit.
my first plants.
Hold on, I got.
And I have successfully transitioned to a legal business. I have a unique perspective on how the black market plays
What did
in
he
and
just say?
Right? Get
What
Zuckerberg.
did he
Come on.
just
Yeah.
say to everyone?
I got you, Zucker.
Oh, man, hold on. I got something else too. Look at. Ah! He did it.
Wait.
There you go. Sorry,
I've actually seen that before from the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got toys.
Okay, so you.
So when I tried to explain to
you're a
Lyndall,
degenerate. Go on.
I am a degenerate.
I know.
About how this is going to end up building up the black market, he didn't even want to hear it. It was kind of the vibe I got. And I explained it in detail.
Yeah.
You know, when especially patients who are, and I work with several cancer patients, when they're dealing with going to chemo and this doctor and that doctor, there's not a lot of extra money left. And if these people are going to a dispensary and it's $400 to $500 an ounce, or it's $200 an ounce down the street, guess where they're going?
No doubt.
Yep.
Well, what's going to happen is we're going to have a buildup of black market activity
No doubt.
and increase in arrest. It really is that simple. You know, I heard John Payne on here a couple weeks ago. In one sentence, he said, we're doing this to keep people out of jail. And five sentences later, said the black market operators are still going to go to jail. Well, isn't that the entire reason why this happens?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I just don't get. But see, there was another thing I caught Fraker saying the other day that was an oxymoron all within 3 sentences. They're worried about diversion from dispensaries because you know that after people spend $10 million and getting all this going, they're going to risk selling a couple pounds out the back door. Silliest thing ever.
Yeah.
But he says we're worried about this, but then in the next sentence he says, well, we're going to have a seed to sale tracking system that's flawless.
That's dog
So
shit.
which is it?
Yeah.
Are we going to trust this, or are we not going to trust this and do this? It cannot be both ways. And from the department on the medical thing, from the proponents of 128 who have written the exact same language, they're explaining things both ways, and I can't understand what's going on.
A lot of what I gather from it is people are really touting, the fact that we are making progress forward. We are making momentum forward, and they keep leaning on the fact that it will probably happen. This will probably happen. That will probably happen. We have and here's my biggest issue with that is the length of time that has taken place in between the medical program rolling out and the adult use program running out is we haven't seen any of the pitfalls to even be able to pivot with the language. So to say, well, based on this, what we think they're going to do with the medical program, they're also probably going to do it with the adult use program. Show me. Show me that.
We do live in Missouri.
Show me. Because I'm not so sure. Right now, I'm not so sure what, other than the pressure that half of the community is putting on DHSS. I'm not so sure why they would be, prompted to grant more licenses, other than the fact that we tell them there is no fucking way you're using the Veterans Fund to defend yourself in court. For as long as you want.
How fucking dare you?
And shame on somebody for not having that drafted in to the amendment.
It all seems a little bit silly to me because at this point, and this was the original thing I heard people were worried about when it was passed, I believe, for AIDS in California, the very first medicinal marijuana.
Oh, back in, 96?
And then people were getting it for cancer right after that, and they were saying, they want to smoke to get high, and maybe, it's not actually helping with anything, but and it was still like this fight of people wanting to get high who maybe didn't have any other options. But this whole... Right now, the way Amendment 2 is set up, I think it's written so well that someone can go to the doctor and say, my bones do hurt from working. My joints hurt. I have arthritis. I have a few ailments that qualify. I can talk to my doctor. I can get it. Now a person can possess up to 8 ounces and then grow a little bit. That what I've seen people growing in Missouri is some of the most phenomenal shit of all time. That's where I wish the gifting would come in.
I don't want to diss anybody on the eastern half of the state, but guys, I'm going to tell you, the Kansas City crowd's killing it on the home growth.
Get on somewhere.
For you Kansas City Hoosiers out there,
come in here and you're going to come into my castle and make me look like a damn fool in my house?
I know. Steve's just walking away.
Ridiculous.
No,
not here.
No, the western half of the state's killing it.
Yeah, good. You guys did good. The Royals are great. Everything's great over there.
Hey, you know what?
Chiefs did great.
Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Chiefs
all
did
right?
Yeah, well, everybody's going to forget about it when them
Mahomes
BattleHawks.
You know what?
Mahomes
You know what? We're gonna get Bobby BattleHawk.
We are going to get some
Over
Bobby
to Kansas
BattleHawk a little
City.
bit later. Listen,
that sounds
I want to
crazy.
talk to you about something, and I don't know if you have an understanding of it. I just want to touch on it because I want to see how it correlates back to the home grow that we have with medical. In 128, they're talking about micro licenses.
That is political fodder bullshit.
Okay, so what do you understand a micro license to be?
It's the same damn thing as a regular license that the buy-in's half the money.
Okay.
You still have to spend the money on the security requirements and your location. It is great political fodder to Tell the voters.
From what I understand, or what they're saying is that they'll grant licenses to the first people to be given favor will be anybody economically at risk, or they're going to try to put it into lower income. I agree with you.
There's on Wednesday that DHSS is in control of licensing, which they would be on the next round. It's going to be the same damn thing, except it will be lower income people who really are scraping to get something together who get shafted on that deal.
Okay. I don't. Okay. So I asked about that because the way I understand it, it's going to. I think it allows them 100 plants, 150 plants, maybe.
Yeah, it would be less than 5,000 square feet.
Something like that. So it's for smaller businesses. What I want to know is with the medical program, are there other states who saw similar barriers with the licensing that grew these caregiver networks of sorts?
Yes.
Does the language in our medical bill, I mean, does each caregiver being allowed to grow for themselves and for two other people, is that enough to I mean, you have to have 1 out of every 3 people growing cannabis.
That's where I was going with
it's
my
a labor of
thought.
love.
Yes.
For sure.
It's a labor of love.
No
Nobody's
doubt.
making money.
That's where my heart is with that last statement. At the end of the day, if we can grow enough and educate enough people to build a little mini economy, I know it's not the billion-dollar economy that everyone was hoping for and that we were all hoping for.
Thank you, Lance.
That's one of the things about cannabis that I always love. One of the first guys I ever smoked weed with would always leave me with a little nug and be like, "Here, man, just share the wealth. Like, you go leave someone else."
It was such a you always left your friend with a little something.
Dude, yes. So to have that in place is great, and I think we need to utilize every aspect of it. The bullshit, the main bullshit thing is that they didn't allow Missourians to fail on their own.
Yeah, that's
they
my
took
whole
their
deal.
money.
That's my whole deal.
And they said, "Hey, we know better than you. You didn't have. If you had all
The way I look at it is licensing is already a fucking sham. So the least you can do is give me a chance to pass or
So
fail on my own
how
business
can I
acumen.
trust you with 128, which I can't believe. I can't believe that something. Craig said it 2-3 weeks ago. I can't believe they're going to make me consider voting against something that I never would have thought I would ever vote.
I'm
against.
trying to get literally every drug
Adult
decriminalized.
use.
Yes.
So I'm very ultra liberal when it comes to drug use.
There is a right and a wrong way to do all of this.
Large?
And 128 just is not good.
We're trying to get everybody's opinion on it, and I like again when it comes to the legal speak and the intention behind bills. I think that everybody has good intentions. The problem is that intentions never really plan out in a utopian way
And honestly,
at the governmental level, and that's where I'm like, why if we can right now, the only one of the big maybe unifying factors for people against 128 and for 128 in this moment is the fact that the Republican legislature right now is trying to basically pass a law that keeps us from being able to petition to put things on the ballot. We pissed a lot of people off with Amendment 2, and we pissed a lot of people off with Clean Missouri. We pissed a ton of lawmakers out. We took a lot of power away from them by putting those two things.
And then licenses got limited like that.
Well, and there's something to be said for that. So there is a sense of urgency in the fact that the legislature could very well pass legislation that doesn't even allow us to put forth a better bill. That, to me, is the best argument for 128 right now. Because the person that wants to take a calculated look and I'm not looking for the best bill. I'm just looking for the bill that actually fixes some of the problems we may have overlooked with the medical bill, and there hasn't been enough time to do that. I certainly understand the opportunism. I understand that people are fucking up for weed, and so they're like, "Hey, now's as good a time as any." I get all of those things, but as an advocate, right? Listen, you're gonna get the fucking guy that's just like, weed all the time, dude. Like you got that guy, but as a guy that's trying to talk about the science behind medicine, I do feel like some people are obligated to have a more responsible conversation about the topic.
Well, and there's a whole nother thing with 128. Guys, we still don't have our cancer babies being able to go to the store and get their medicine.
There's a kid suspended from RAPEC right now.
I've got a friend in Oklahoma, Shelly McMillan, down in Oklahoma. She was a big part of 788. Guys, it was 4 or 5 months after 788 passed. They had stores open and sick people were going and getting their medicine. I help. Somehow I become the cancer guy.
I
But
mean,
I help
there's
a lot of
worse things
people
to be,
with
man.
cancer, and really, until our patients here have got the access they need, we need to slow our roll on rec.
No freaking doubt, dude. Because that's the one thing I want to let people know that is at the heart. We have fun. We bring Zuckerberg up on the screen. You don't understand the mental anguish families go through on the daily. I got a
Honestly.
message from a new friend named John, and his 3-year-old little girl named Aubrey is going through medulloblastoma, and he appreciates that we have these conversations because he doesn't know where else to get the information. He's been through the doctors. He's been through the ringers of this, oh, I don't really know, and we're going to do this, and it might make it worse, and oh, it's gone, now it's back, okay. No personability to where you have people. Caregivers it's more than a word, because the people who are putting in the work now give a shit, man. And that's what we need to focus on before these people who have seen the writing on the wall. I think about these businessmen who are dicking around in jean shorts and a half shirt. You know, they've been thinking, oh, well, we got legalized here. Obviously, it's going to go here. Let me play my chess pieces. let me talk to this governor. Let me talk to this politician. Hey, cool. When at the heart of everything are these patients who need oil, and it takes a ton of cannabis to make oil, to make medicine that could possibly shrink cancers and kill cancer cells.
At the least, it provides comfort.
At the least, provides comfort.
A good friend of mine's father-in-law was diagnosed. He's been able to eat while undergoing treatment. It's not going to save
it's a
every life,
huge
but
fucking
you know
thing.
what?
It's a huge
That is
Straight up,
huge.
I wish
That
I
is
knew
huge.
more about edible cannabis when my dad was dying of cancer, but I did know enough about cannabis that the $2,500 a month anti-nausea meds that didn't do shit to him, a bowl did.
Yeah.
You know, it made him hungry again. He didn't want to eat anything because the thought of passing anything through his cancer-riddled fucking intestines was agony. But when he was using cannabis, not only was he happier, smiling, not in as much pain, able to sleep, but he could also eat. He could also do those things. So regardless of, but when I thought about that, and I think about of the 70% of people that voted to pass cannabis legislation, medical cannabis legislation, when they hear that cannabis might help kill cancer cells, most of them think that means smoking a marijuana cigarette.
Totally.
They have no
100%.
grasp. They have no idea what RSO or FECO oil is.
And those people don't even care. That was one thing that aggravated me Wednesday at the hearing. I kept hearing Lyndall talk about the intent of the drafters.
Buddy, that was driving me fucking
Oh my
banana
goodness!
sandwich,
I was
dude.
sitting there. Heidi Rail was sitting next to me. Heidi's been at this for longer than anybody, I think. But they kept bringing up the intent of the drafters, and we're just shaking our heads. We know the intent. We know what the will of the voters was because we educated those voters. They expected something, and what they're seeing is not what they're getting or what they expected.
No, I mean, I agree. I've heard about the intent of the law, and also for DHSS to assume...
What exactly are they saying?
Well-
that they can kind of interpret it?
For DHSS to assume that the intent of the law was that granting too many licenses was going to put business owners in jeopardy
Yeah, I did.
of losing their money is one of the most fucking crazy things I've ever heard an
And
adult
they based
say
it on
to
the
another
argument.
room of adults, because you've already taken 6 fucking figures from these people to just play in your stupid fucking lottery. Don't talk to me about the intent of the law when you have fucking taken over 3/4 of the applicants' money without even a chance at fucking winning.
It's insane. Josh, let me ask you this question, and I always get into this thought process, and a lot of times it's like this thought process does you no good. As a person who illegally grew, which I think you guys are the fucking. Without you guys, we wouldn't even be having these conversations right now. But does it almost piss you off, or does it piss you off? Are you in the middle, or are you somewhere where it says, "Good, I don't even care. The pass is a pass." To where the government who was trying to lock everybody up for this shit are now the ones going, well, this is a rule, and you know what? The people did vote for this, but here's another rule I need, and seed to sale, and don't gift, and all these regulations. How does that make you feel?
We can't get all we want at once.
I'm with that.
We cannot undo 80 years of prohibition and indoctrination overnight. We are getting some headway started. To the people who want to get mad and rant and rave about it not being all at once, well, guess what, folks? We're better than we were a year ago, 2 years ago. I am very unhappy with the rollout of our medical program. I will give the department a pat on the back. At the beginning, especially dealing with patients,
No doubt.
110%, I loved it.
Quick turnarounds, quick
They did good.
approvals.
When you called on the phone, they answer. They're good. That said, this has been a botched deal.
I don't disagree.
But no, it does make me mad that we can't get everything all at once. But it's give and take.
That's pragmatism and that's
Yeah.
politics, and I
It
always
is.
preach
I
pragmatism.
just wondered if you sat in bed at night one time and be like, I can't believe the same motherfuckers who almost threw me in
no.
jail for life,
No.
like the same entity,
Here's
now
what-
wants to give
Here's
me
what
now
makes
they
me
okay.
mad. These people who want to try to railroad this 128 through don't know jack shit about cannabis. Beyond being a fucking consumer and a partaker, they've never fucking dealt with this plant. They've never grown it. They've never sold it. They've never known the market. They know poll numbers.
Yep.
They've read a market analysis in a legal state. Well, the legal market and the real market, for everybody out there who doesn't know, it's a completely different fucking deal. All right? There is the real world where we've all been for decades. And then there's this new crap that they're bringing in.
Well, we didn't exist in Missouri until we drafted Amendment 2, and then we had then it's
Yeah, and then it just
Well, I don't
appeared.
know.
Immaculate Conception.
No one ever
Yeah,
heard of
conceived
marijuana
here.
before 2018.
I've got friends with old copies of High Times bragging on Missouri skunk bud that made Missouri famous in the 70s and 80s.
That's what I'm
So-
talking about. Here's I don't know. It gets me worked up.
Get me
because,
fired up, dude.
You know, like if there was a perfect world, they would have put someone like you in charge of it with like a lawyer to say, hey man, you can't get crazy. Like you're
I
the head of
offered-
DHS. Because someone who has lived it, literally put their life and livelihood on the line for. I mean, you know it's risk reward. You knew.
Yeah.
That's why I want to get all the
Oh.
prisoners out.
I've had
But
that
you know-
conversation about
You know
expungement.
what you're getting in.
I've got mixed feelings on the expungement because
Give them to me. Give them to me
10,
because I got
15,
mixed
20
feelings
years
on
ago,
too.
I knew the risk I was taking, and I had to stand up and take that punishment if it came.
My man. My man.
So
Said he would say.
Listen.
that's real.
Bottom line,
That's
I
real.
had a cop tell me when I was in my early 20s, and I didn't have all that much to lose.
Fuck you, Craig.
So I made money the ways that I made money, and the cop said, "Hey man, it's no big deal. You play for one team, I play for the other team. Most of the time, you win.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you win. Sometimes I win, and when
Yep.
I win, it's just celebrated a
That's
little bit more.
exactly right.
And I was like,
Damn.
okay. So when I think about expungement, and believe me, I don't think a single person should be behind bars for any kind of drug offense as long as there wasn't a nonviolent drug offense.
Completely agreed.
However, we all knew the game going in, and I'm also going to venture to bet. First off, I would love to hear the number because the only people that are getting expunged are anybody that are in prison for what's underneath the limits now. Well, nobody's been sitting in there that long for what's underneath the limits now. Maybe a couple, but for the most part, the dudes that are like cannabis prisoners, the ones that we're all rallying behind, these dudes they're moving pounds. They have legitimate grows. Like they know what the risk versus reward was, exactly what that was. Like,
Yeah.
and so I guarantee you, if you went up to these dudes who are doing their time, you know, staying tight-lipped, doing their time, hey, I did it, whatever. Go and tell them that a bunch of fucking suits are going to take over the game that they fucking that they were running forever. Go and tell them the suits, and then ask them what they think about the expungement bill. Go and tell them that.
Well, it's dog shit.
And I'm still having helicopter dreams. Like honest to God, it was so regular when Garrett was like 3 years old.
I love that you can talk about
No
this
bullshit. My son would hear. We knew the pilot. My cousin and I built a couple houses for Dan Wanaka, the highway patrol pilot. But he'd hear the
Just
helicopter
name
coming,
dropping.
and Garrett would come running.
Josh
watching.
Loftis, please come out.
Please come out with your hands up. Statute of limitations, and then bring that big hog with you.
I love Missouri.
Hey, you got any like statute of limitations? You got any wild stories? Where you're from, like the woods?
Oh, yeah.
I know that. I know, like, okay, where are you from exactly?
Polk County.
Polk
Hey,
County.
I done some time in Polk County.
Of course you have. You live off Route W.
No, man, you
no,
just take
like-
13 out to Morrisville, dude. Hang
Right,
left out
small
there.
world. So like a year ago, I'm
dang it.
talking with Kohler here. He goes, man, you know a guy named Named Don?
Of course he did.
Won't even say the last name.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, I went to high school with Don. I texted Don, dude, Don's my road dog. He's my best friend for years. Dude.
Everyone's your best friend. I know. Either they're a cousin of yours or you met them in a fucking dreamy fucking night of booze.
For a very short window of time, I kind of couch surfed out in halfway Missouri. We didn't even have a stove, dude. We had a cherry picker with an engine hanging where the stove was at. I told the story.
For a minute.
I told the story, dude. Like where the cabinets were supposed to be, there was a Matco toolbox. And there was just, we just ate shit out of the microwave. There was a fucking frozen bobcat head in the freezer.
Ate shit out of the
microwave?
Well,
yeah, naturally.
You know, I thought
well, you got to warm it up.
Bobcat in the freezer.
Oh, shit.
So, anyway.
Okay, so you're from Polk County. Like, what was your, like, were you always a little outlaw? What was that like? Can we get into that a little bit?
Well, I was a terrible fucking teenager.
Were you?
Yeah.
Just fucking selling
I was
drugs.
A shit.
You fucking heathen. That's
No,
the
see,
deal.
here's
You know
the
the
deal.
risk, but the risk was put in place by the people. That's what's shitty too.
Right.
But I want to hear a story. Tell me a good story.
See, okay, here's how I grew up.
Okay.
Everybody grew. Well, not everybody, but there were a bunch
Everyone grew.
out in the country, people grew weed. But there were growers. And like everybody knew where everybody's stuff was. For the most part, I got left alone. I told Mr. Morton on the way up here today. There was one old guy that lived in the community, and he would just help himself. And there was one year where he left everybody.
Like how much?
Right.
Like was he like taking stalks?
Shut the fuck up.
Just personal.
Just a couple buds?
But there was one year.
There's
that
an old guy who just
didn't-
wanders from weed field to weed field. Is he dead? And do I have to fill out a resume to take his place?
You know,
I will be that guy.
I have not heard from him in years.
That's me.
But-
I'll be that guy.
But there was one year everybody got together and left, I think, a quarter pound, half pound on his front steps because he didn't mess with anybody's shit that year.
That's awesome.
Like that's how things worked.
It's just a good old boy
And
network,
back
man.
then, we didn't have Google. We couldn't order seeds. So, like, we had to learn to selectively breed good cannabis. It was a necessity back then.
So you would take a bag of swag, a bag of seedy shit, right?
In the very beginning.
Okay.
But then when the older growers started, once you'd kind of proven yourself, then you got good genetics.
So
Right.
people who had been growing even before you would take
since the 50s and 60s, yeah.
and they're growing sensimilla, like seedless weed.
My dragonfly were 2 land races I inherited. That was landrace Afghani and landrace from Panama.
None of
They
those
were gathered up.
So
Those seeds were gathered when I was like,
walk me through the
this
genetics.
down,
Walk me
Jesus
through the
Christ.
genetics game here. You got like
Oh, wow.
you got like a Josh Loftis copyright or trademark on these.
you know,
seeds?
if we could ever get genome testing, we could do that.
Okay.
But no. Genetics
Is it
are
worth it
fair
to do
game.
that?
No.
Yeah.
No,
that's
it's
just
not.
a thing to say you did.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
But you
it's
got
like-
some that like you're known for though.
Yeah, there's a lot of my weed growing in this state.
Right on.
There's a lot of my cannabis in this state right now.
Okay. So these growers from Polk County take swag at some point, Mexican brickweed, I assume.
Oh no, some of them traveled and went and got real genetics.
Fuck me. Okay, so then they find these zebra stripe seeds. Is that still a thing? Like to have the zebra stripe?
Oh, no.
That's
Those were all
a
myths.
myth.
Those
that
were all
was
myths.
stripes,
Oh,
little
perfect.
dimple
I
in
love
it.
it.
No.
Little dimple in it.
No.
I forgot that no one said
Then
that.
there's a little
Like
friend-
one or two guys.
3 people.
Yeah. They're assholes.
I love genetics, though.
Okay, so can you look at a seed and tell if it has good genetics?
No.
Oh, so it's kind of like you plant them and it's kind of like,
There
what's
are
gonna
just so
happen?
many variations of the cannabis plant that no.
What do you think
Okay.
about autos?
Don't yield enough.
Auto flowers.
And I
want
want to say this in front of everybody because everybody asked about fem seeds. You couldn't pay me $1 million to put a fem seed in the dirt. They're bred
A
by
feminized
using.
seed?
They are
Josh, let me give you $1 million. Throw the dirt away, bud. Let me,
Yeah, throw the dirt. Yeah.
you did
No.
put the seed in the dirt.
they're bred by using a hermaphrodite plant. This guy.
Oh, yeah.
No, they're bred by using a hermaphrodite plant, and at some point down the line, you're going to have a hermy and screw up a crop.
Okay.
Damn right.
Regular seeds are where it's at, and cut your clones from your best moms.
Okay. So you start getting seeds from the good growers. So if you have a plant that's, say, your favorite flavor, but this one grows bigger, and you want this one small but has a better flavor, is that how you're crossing genetics? What's going through your mind when you're crossing genetics? Are you just like, oh man, we'll put dragon skunk with Panama
It
red?
depends because sometimes you get one that's just so dominant that you can't get it to hybridize with something else, like this cut of Durban poison.
Kind of
I'm
like
working
Craig
with.
and me with my show. He just became dominant, and now I'm
Right.
fucking Cucky's gone. Bobby BattleHawk.
Bobby BattleHawk's cock of the walk, dude. So just step on back.
He actually shows that walk a little bit in this video.
Ooh.
Y'all talking about marijuana sleeves in here? Okay.
Oh, the marijuana. And I gotta say, a little plug here. They're sporting this Aiden's Alliance shirt. Great organization.
We can talk to them.
Ashley and Aiden.
We'll hit them up with about 5 minutes left in your segment.
Steve featured him on the Missouri Cannabis podcast.
Yep,
Had a
episode
little
1.
conversation
We
with,
had a
Ashley.
good trip over the weekend.
yeah,
we
we
went
did.
down to Harvest Dispensary in Conway.
Let's talk about that.
Insane. Prices are insane in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. We walked, of course, we got a little.
Do you have reciprocity?
No.
Can you pay for reciprocity?
They have temporary cards, and they're $50 for 30 days.
Can you buy a year?
No,
Oh.
30 days at a time, just like Oklahoma, except Oklahoma's
Wait.
is 100.
Did I get an answer on the
I'm sorry.
crisscrossing the plant thing?
And
You
well, okay.
fucking stoners.
Yeah,
man, fucking-
God.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I had a cookie earlier.
I believe me, every time this, fuck
I didn't
me.
do any
know.
baking today.
Listen, I grabbed this
be
cookie
clear.
and I asked the guy a question. Not him. I asked a person a question about a cookie, and they go, "If you ask a person a question and they give you one of these, you eat the whole cookie."
Okay, well,
The whole fucking
well, you
cookie.
folks out in Hoosier land know who's probably traveling with me, and when we walk into a room with edibles, it ain't no fucking around.
Why don't you just give us fucking fingerprints out on the fucking? I'll put up a fucking Jesus Christ.
So anyway,
Social security.
Okay, so anyway,
anyway,
So one can be more dominant than others. What are
Yes.
you looking to do when you're mixing these things together?
you get it to an F1 hybrid, and then you do another
fuck does
pheno
that
hunt.
mean?
All right, when you get two separate strains,
Okay.
I call them varieties because that's what they are. Strains are not the proper word. But
Strain is not a proper
yes,
word.
the first time you breed two different plants together, it's the first hybrid, filial hybrid, an F1. We then do is run through those seeds and try to get ones that look like what we're looking for.
Okay.
We'll breed those. Or we can save one of the parents, a cutting off of it, and do what we call a back cross to try to lock in those traits.
This guy's a fucking weed genius. I love weed geniuses.
And speaking of which,
dude.
got a little genetic thing coming. Probably going to get released at the Trade Fest.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, we have a lot of fans also wanting to know how much does it take to grow? What do you got to do to grow?
I don't think I can grow anything.
Sam, yes.
Everybody can grow cannabis.
Okay, so step one, I'm a middle-aged, middle-class man on a budget. How do I start growing cannabis? What's step fucking one?
I have found some great affordable LED lights. I did a lot of research a couple years ago. I found that only so many companies were producing LED strips. They were selling the same strips to grow light manufacturers, to bathroom light manufacturers. Well, I ended up finding the same strips that Fluence is using in their lights in a high bay warehouse light.
Okay.
$200.
So you're looking at $200
Is that
total
just for
on your
veg,
lighting?
or is that for flower, or is it for both?
I use it for both.
Okay.
There's so much argument about lights.
Sure.
I found what works for my system. I'm getting rock solid nugs, and I can do ounce and a half on a 10-day veg with the right variety into these lights, and the trichome production.
What the fuck does that mean? So after a 10-day veg,
Oh, we got to go back to weed growing 101.
that's what I'm trying to do. They need to know.
I know.
I know.
Away Josh's business. Here.
I know all this stuff. Am I?
Josh,
Is that
you
what
gotta,
we're doing?
You know,
hey
I
Josh,
do that a
you gotta
lot
talk to him
because
like
You
he's
think
five.
these fucking people? We got eight people on here.
All right,
like
guys,
we're not.
keep it simple.
Yes, I just need to know the simplest way to do it.
Soil,
Okay.
water, light, air movement. You're good.
And do I need the tents? Do I need all of that
makes
shit?
It easy. It depends on your situation. You
Now-
know, you've got a nice basement. You could frame.
This
two
is a
walls.
studio. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I
We're
know.
not. We're not in my basement. We're in
It's a
my.
nondescript building.
We're in my
There's
basement.
security
You know what?
outside.
We're in my
Valet
basement.
Park, and this guy talks about it like it's a basement.
We're in my fucking basement.
It's like playing cards with my brother's kids, man.
My word,
Jesus Christ.
you have enough room in your basement.
Just give him the address.
All right.
Craig, give him the address. Just tell him. Let them all know.
Well, gee, now I feel like
Okay.
a schmuck.
No, you're not. Are you kidding me? They know we do it in the
We-
basement. I didn't do
we
that to be an
have
asshole.
nothing.
Yeah, we have nothing to
Really
fucking
have
hide or
nothing.
do. We have nothing, literally. Okay, so
Honestly, for
Lights.
$500, you can be growing your own weed.
so for $500, you get, and how much do you think you're producing off of just one plant? By the time it's all said and done.
The average home grower is going to get a couple ounces per plant.
Jesus Lord, that's pretty good.
In the beginning, it's going to be...
And the cycle, that's not bad. I'm saying for my own personal usage as a patient. The thing you got to do is, okay, so how quickly can you have the next round coming?
Depends on the variety.
Okay.
You know, if you're running a sativa, I say in quotes,
narrow leaf?
A narrow leaf.
Because if a patient needs high potency oil, what do they need to run?
They need a lot of weed.
They need a lot.
No joke. When it comes to the FICO, the RSO.
Yeah, what is it? What's the breakdown? 2 pounds makes how much, or a pound makes how much
Depends
oil?
on what it's testing at. You know, if you have a pound of true 25% flour, which we'll get into testing, that's a whole different deal. If it's true 25% flour, you'll get a quarter pound out of a pound.
Okay.
The thing is, with what we get, and even if you buy it at a dispensary and
But you get a quarter pound out of a pound?
Yeah.
You get a quarter pound of oil?
25% cannabinoid.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's just you
Right.
put a quarter?
But see, we're in that testing, you know, when you go to a dispensary and you see that on the jar,
bullshit.
that is the top bud that was
Yes,
in
the
that
best
variety.
bud they had, I know.
And when we were running the purple, we were seeing 14% THC difference between the top buds under the
Jesus.
light and the buds 2 feet down.
Wow.
Well, how many of those top buds are on a plant, guys?
No doubt.
You're
400.
not buying 25% weed, okay? You're buying a bunch of 12, 13, 14% weed and reading that label on a jar.
making
Couple ounces.
3 ounces, 2
Yeah.
ounces.
And I mean, what is it? A rice grain? Is that what they're saying a day for
RSO?
people?
To start.
Cancer protocol try to get up to a gram a day.
You need
gram a
to.
day.
60 grams in 90 days.
Sure. Well,
We're starting people out on half a grain of rice.
What's a gram look like? A Hershey Kiss, or how much is a
1
gram?
mil syringe?
Hershey Kiss is a lot. We got Matt Neal in the building. Everybody say what's up to Matt. We got a big
Hershey
crowd here
Kiss
tonight.
would be about 3 to 4 grams.
Okay.
okay.
Because I ate 4
And that's
Hershey
enough
Kisses
to go
earlier.
for a 3-day ride.
Damn right it is. I'll follow you anywhere.
Hey, I've heard though.
I'll follow you anywhere.
I've heard though, much to my chagrin,
Oh, Jesus.
that you can use RSO rectally and not get the high, but still get all the health benefits.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's up with putting in some capsules, stuffing up your butt? You ever boof cannabis, Josh? That's what I'm trying to ask.
No, but with my intestinal issues,
check.
I have thought about the spot
They say that it
fluids.
doesn't get you. It doesn't carry
See,
the
I
high
haven't
because you're
heard
not metabolizing it, so it's just going into
It's
the
still
bloodstream.
going into your bloodstream
I don't
being metabolized.
I don't know, man. Hey, look, I didn't fucking write the article. Okay, I just
There's
talked
only
about it
one
on the
way
internet.
to test it out.
There
And
is.
that's what
Put
I
some
have
weed
to
in your
do.
butt, Josh. Tell me all about it.
Well, all three do it.
Look me in the eyes while
I
you
have
do
a
it, pal.
syringe of my medicine with me.
Three musketeers.
You guys
Let's
want to
do
get
this thing.
fucking weird on the internet tonight?
Hold on. Jesus Christ, guys. Like, you are really pushing it tonight. Holy
Comments after
crap.
that one.
Holy crap.
Hey,
all right. We got a little bit of time left. I definitely want to talk about Aiden's Alliance, but what's a funny weed story where I imagine you were the fucking Dukes of Hazzard. Like, you got weed and you're a college kid and you got the weed, and then the cop who you went to high school with is like, oh no, and you start driving away in your Gran Torino or Lord knows whatever
I
you
wish
got.
it was that cool.
And then they're like, oh no, what are the Loftis boys going to get into next? We'll
No,
be right
no.
back with the Dukes of Hazzard.
You know, it was funny because during the campaign, somebody was with it.
I did.
I was known as the marijuana politician at the local hangout. Yeah.
What kind of fucked up group did you have to hang out in to be known
Oh
as the
no, I did not
politician?
hang out.
You talking
I wanna
about
be
the
clear.
old,
the good old boys
what's
club?
what's the bar there that was the storage place? Virgil's?
Oh God, yes.
See
And
what
then
I'm
you-
saying? I'm always
Do you
left
remember
out
the,
on this
the
shit.
Southern Star, the Slut and Slither up by Bolivar?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Jesus Lord. Yeah, me too, guys. I'm in on the
Yeah.
joke.
Well, you know what?
Hey, I
You
want to
weren't cool
go
enough
back.
to
There
hang
was
with
like a
cool kids.
comment made like 20 minutes ago by Jessica Evans saying that thing on your lip makes you look like a fool, and you should be ashamed of yourself,
Yeah,
Jessica.
don't ever
Evans,
say that
because
to
he
me.
looks amazing right now. He looks like a just a daddy snack, like a snack daddy.
I
Wait a
guarantee
second.
Josh
I think
and Craig
she was.
and I get.
I think she was the very first one who actually said that it looked good.
Thank you.
If we go back to those comments in the very first
We're gonna
part of
have
this video.
We're gonna have a Madonna, Christina Aguilera, Britney moment at
Don't
the
you
end
make
of
me
this.
look like a fool on my
So
own
you
show
guys,
ever again, Mike. You don't make
So
me
you
look
don't
like
have
a fool
any?
on
You
my
don't have
show.
a funny story that you were gay old people with at parties? Like,
No.
oh, I had 400 pounds and then
No.
I fucking dropped it off the back of my truck and then the guy found it.
No, we were like all low key and professional
Smart
about it.
and
Yeah.
smart about it. That's why you're here
Yeah,
talking
we
to
did
us.
not get
Oh,
caught.
that's true. That's so true. I'm so dumb, dude.
All right, let's talk about Aiden's Alliance. You two
Let's
knuckle
do it.
nuts.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they
what
are.
Ashley's doing to help patients is, God, you know.
Aiden's family too. What is she doing? What is that?
And I tell you what, everybody talks about Ashley. I want to give a shout out to Chris,
No
her husband.
doubt.
No doubt.
They're a team, and they are one hell of a team, doing good things for
Buddy.
a lot of people.
She didn't even want to have children before she met him. Did you know that? She didn't even want to have kids before
Hey,
she met him. She has
I see you
49
working
kids.
there, Chris.
He has,
I see
she
you
has
working, buddy.
49 kids, dude.
Right?
Like, it's unbelievable. And they all stink at pool. All of them. None of them can beat me. It was terrible. They need to step it up. No, but they're such a beautiful group. The Aiden's Alliance, aidensalliance.org. How do you work with them? What do you do with them? Like, you
Just in association with.
just being with them. Yeah, and then you got Home Grow Solutions. Like,
Yeah, it's just some guy slacking off helping patients get their home grows set up and get seeds and.
is that the whole deal? Like, if step one be kind of talking to you if I was to get serious about
what we
it?
do on our initial consultations, I come in, I measure out your space, we check your air quality, we kind of go over your budget, your goals,
Okay.
what you're looking to do.
Well, you're here. I mean, might as well do a little something.
Right?
I'm like when I was a carpenter and people were like, oh, I got a leaky thing. I don't know if you want to look at it, or you can come over and help me learn how to do it. That's the best. When they're like,
Right?
help me do my grow room, and then it's just you doing everything.
Hey, and you
But,
know
yeah,
what?
but
If I
son of a-
show up to
damn
somebody's
you.
house and they have their equipment, it's second nature. I'm just going to go to work.
Okay, well, I got some stuff over there.
Oh, do you?
in the
You got
studio.
lights?
No, I got
Ventilation?
nothing. I was asking
Let's
all
do
the
this.
questions. I'm dumb. I had zebra seeds earlier. I don't even know those. Don't even
shit, let's
fucking. I
plant
had
those
feminized
babies.
zebra seeds that
Let's
I
plant
fucking
those
bought
babies.
from fucking Lil Jack Horner. No, if anyone wants to get in contact with us, get in contact with Josh. I mean, you got an email.
Well, I'll be at BizCon Monday and Tuesday. Everybody come out and say hi.
Come out to BizCon.
For sure.
Would you?
We might be parked up close to each other in there somewhere.
I hope.
Who knows?
I'm gonna be hanging out with this dude all
Listen,
day. We're gonna be interviewing
Josh,
people.
we're going there to work. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, I'm super excited because Bobby BattleHawk's gonna meet Grant Wistrom and Kyle Turley.
What?
I know he's gonna 2 NFL players. They're big deals in my book. I don't know if they're big
Is
deals.
Bobby BattleHawk gonna nut his pants?
No.
Oh, I hope so.
hell no,
Jesus
dude. Grant learned
Christ.
everything he knows from Bobby Battlehawk. Shit.
Bobby's my hero.
I'm gonna ask Grant what it's like to be the second best player ever played for Kurt Thompson, dude. You played for Kurt Thompson. What's it like to be second best, dude?
Right? Man,
He was the running back. He said.
Oh, dude.
He's going for the
Grant,
jugular
listen,
here.
I really did play for the same coach as Grant. He left Webb City and came to Kickapoo.
Well-
And we had video of Grant Wistrom in high school for Webb City. It was when their whole dynasty started. They won 4 state championships.
And the
in a row,
coach was
they've,
going,
like,
"Do
not lost
this."
since.
Wait a minute. Webb
this.
City, where Alice is?
Yeah, dude. They're the.
I didn't know he played down there.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
the
buddy,
baddest
come
ass
on.
fucking football team
Yeah,
in the state
come on,
for a
learn
long ass
something.
time.
God,
Did I not
Anyway,
not a lot of the athletes
I
hanging out
think
with
hey,
the
listen,
potheads back then.
because of how much Josh loves Bobby Battlehawk, should we watch Bobby Battlehawk going into the break?
Let's do that.
And then we'll see get Josh's feelings on Bobby a little bit afterwards, and then
no,
We
we gotta
already
send
know
them to break
Josh's
before
feelings
Bobby
on
BattleHawk.
Bobby.
Oh, you want to jump the break first?
We have to. That way they got to sit through that shit because this Bobby BattleHawk is so good that I'm going to force you to watch our sponsors because they make everything happen. We haven't even talked about them at all. The commercials are funny, okay? But we'll come back. We'll talk some BattleHawk stuff. Is everyone okay with that?
Oh, ready.
It's great.
Okay, we're going to go to
fine.
commercial break.
It's
It's
fine.
fine.
It's fine.
Okay, we're going to go to commercial. We'll see you in a minute.
Look at that
We'll be
cute
back.
grin.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Actually, it's 6.
Oh.
James Carlton. Insurance 314-961-4800. Handsome. Amazing. Astonishing. Astounding. Fabulous. Incredible. Fantastical. Phenomenal. Prodigious. Stupendous. Unbelievable. Wondrous. divine, fantastical. No, seriously, he's fantastical. You got a house, go on and get it insured. You got a car, you gotta get it insured. You got a life, go on and get it insured. CarltonInsurance.net. Fantastic. Stupendous. Fantastic.
You take our insurance and are you cannabis friendly?
Yeah.
And they all said no. And then at that last phone call, that 8th phone call, I was like, do you know anybody that is? I'm desperate. I've called 7 other people. You're my 8th phone call.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm crying my eyes out. And this lady just felt bad for me and said, hold on, let me call you back in a few minutes. And they called me back and they said that they would take him, but under a certain amount of conditions. And the main condition was that if they felt that cannabis was not working for him, then they would take him from us and put him in and Child Protective Services, and then they would take the other 2 kids too.
Oh,
Because they were both underage.
Then-
And we would be charged with child endangerment.
So they'd go to federal prison.
Yeah, we would go to federal prison. So we said, bring it on.
Come to Pruitt's, I got good fries.
This is one of the best Cubans. I try a Cuban everywhere I go, and this is one of the best damn Cubans I've ever had. And we've got a little white cheddar mac here with a little cracker mac. Life changing, incendiary.
Everywhere I go, I try the Cuban. This time I didn't. I got the grilled cheese bacon burger.
Look at that thing.
With put some pepper jack on there, some jalapenos. And we got some crinkle fries. And all I can say is, oh baby, grow baby.
As you can see, this was once a delicious plate of coconut scrimps, and I devoured it. And if I had to say, if I had to give a review real quick, I'd say it's an orgasmic feast of the senses.
And I love meat.
Come to Pruitt's.
Only got 5 seconds to this message explodes. Angel. So step into the mystery that lies deep inside. Taking you with you, I'll smoke a split for two. Invent a water that's fueled by shrooms. Eat a banana, act like a monkey. Jump to Cincinnati, got nothing on me. But Johnny Appleseed is alive in the breeze. Dirty bag man, don't need much to meet. I woke up in the morning to early birds calling. Time to get up and get out and fly. Dance to dance around the fire. Falling freely like a drop of water. Melting in the Cuyahoga. For swiftly as ever. Welcome my brother. We the people, we have to stand together. Rise like a wave, braver than ever. The future is bright, shine with the tide. When it pulls forward with the ripple from the stone in the sky. Thrown by God. Jump in Cincinnati, ain't got nothing on me. Listen to my words, cause this where it comes free. The end is near, so we dance to dance. I feel so free in the air. In the air.
We're back.
Well, welcome back. You guys
back.
got a treat there in Dirty Bag Man.
Great jam is Billy Joe.
Great jam,
Billy
Billy
Joe.
Joe.
Oh, I'm gonna get her and Jason from Sweet Leaf Emporium. Have you met those gems?
No.
Oh, they're amazing. I'm gonna get them on the Missouri Cannabis podcast. I'm gonna get also they're the ones who got me in touch with John and hopefully talk to him about his daughter and how people are treating their fucking ailments with oil, man. Like, come on. All right, not to get back on the weed thing. We thank you. We appreciate the jam. Josh, we got a treat for you. We got Bobby BattleHawk. I can see the lines being blurred where Craig doesn't know where Bobby BattleHawk begins and Craig Kohler ends. I've been there with Cucky the Dwarf. I didn't know the jean shorts just became a goddamn part of me. Craig, who's Bobby BattleHawk? Who is he? He's
just
simple man.
He's a simple man with simple taste, actually fine taste.
He does.
He is every man's man.
He is.
That's who
Man, the
Bobby
dudes want to
BattleHawk
be
is.
him, and the women want to be with him. You know.
You know, when I hear the name, I've got this vision of the Road Runner. Locked up posse, smoke rolling, getting her done.
Roasting rubber, baby.
All right, guys. We included our children in this week's video.
No children were harmed during the filming of this.
Not more than once.
Only one kid's in a cast.
I don't know. Craig, you got the BattleHawk thing. I'm going to turn off our mics here. We hope you enjoyed this week's installment, Week 3, Bobby BattleHawk.
Breaking down the XFL.
Here you go. You got the button. What are you doing?
No, I don't. Okay.
You know, yeah, you do. I put it on there for you.
No, I
Other
don't.
one. Bobby. It says Bobby. It says Bobby.
Jesus, this guy.
It says Bobby.
Guys, here's Bobby BattleHawk, Week 3,
Jesus
XFL.
Christ. Crank it up.
It's the Bobby BattleHawk Show. Dude, man.
What's up, everybody? Bobby BattleHawk, Week 3. Week 3 makes me think of the Trinity. If you know old Bobby BattleHawk, his holy trinity is Mopar Power, the Spanish Society, and the art that is the female orgasm.
The old runners in the shop. You guys saw there was a 14 Dodge Caravan out there because Mopar or no car, if you know what I'm saying. So I got it as a loaner on the shop while the road runners getting tuned up a little bit. I'm getting it bored out from 440 up to a 460. I mean, that was Bobby BattleHawk. Some people know me as Bobby. Some people know me as 207.
Why they call you 207?
Well, the average adult female's got 206 bones in her body, but when she meets old Bobby, she's got 207, if you know what I mean.
Gun? Damn, dude. I know.
Oh, with it, Call. Deuce 4 on the floor, if you know what I mean. Little Chevy Deuce with 4 on the floor.
Break that play down for us.
Man, what happened was we had Tamu, They had him out of the gun, right? Now, everybody was thinking he's going to come under center. He's going to take that thing, he's going to pinch the center right there on the ass, right? You're not going to give a hook call, it's a silent snap. But instead, he jabbed back in the gun. He turned there, thought maybe he's going to give a fake. Hell no. He gave him right to him, right up the middle. He just came with there with a head full of steam, boy. A head full of steam like a locomotive. Punched that thing in the end zone. Touchdown, BattleHawk. Okay. All right. A little pass. Here we go. Here we go. Not in our house, dude. Not in the Battle Dome, dude. Not in the Battle Dome. Oh, everybody, you ain't here for the show. Come on. Come on. Oh, shit. You see that mustache coming to a mom's near you, if you know what I mean. Smell that.
Well, we beat up all over them Guardians today, and I'll tell you what, gave me the opportunity, man, hanging out down on the south side, my old stomping grounds, dude. I had left a lot of glory out on them fields, man, back in the day. I'll never forget, we played them Cavaliers back in '84, and we rolled them up, man. We rolled them up 46-3, man. All they got was a field goal. We never let them live that shit down, man. But I'll tell you what, some of the kids, they've heard the names, they've heard the legends, you know. When they saw me down there at Spanish Society, they asked if they asked if they could get a little shot at the title, you know, see if they could show who the new kid on the block is. I said, all right, you want to challenge old Bobby? You want to run them for pinks, boys? You want to run them for pinks? That's what I call the single moms over there watching me. We call them the pink slips. So I'll tell you what, man, I went out there, and boy, howdy, I was throwing lasers all over that field, just like our boy Jordan Tamu. Got a chance to go on out there and throw some bullets to these little Hoosier boys, man.
Buddy, the entire south side of St. Louis depends on you, all right? You're the man. We're giving you the ball. I want you to take it down there, and I want you to grab your glory, okay? It's your game to win, son. Now go on out there and get him. Go on. Go on to the house. Go on to the house, boy. Woo! Go on, throw that thing on the ground. Let them know who the king of the south side is. Yeah. On one. Set, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, is that? You gonna walk out here, you act like you got a broken wing or something. Can't even put two hands on the ball and put it in the basket. Come on, man. Yeah, you don't spike a football when you drop it. This ball's been through enough trying to be caught by you. Making me look like a damn fool out here. I want you to run up there, give me 6 yards, give me a little post, go on diagonal. Set. Yeah, just run the fly. Oh, I hit you in the hands. You guys are trying to make Bobby BattleHawk look like a damn fool in his own castle. You got no respect for the game. Out here acting like you're above a little bit of hard work. We gotta show you what a champion does. All right? Set. Go on. Here. Oh, hell! Hey, listen, on one-on-one, I'm gonna put this thing right in the old honey hole, okay? Set. Oh, hell! Them Hoosiers end up taking it home. We're just like, make you sweat a little bit, man. Caw. Well, Bobby's a little winded. That's the smell of victory and Dracar Noir, ladies.
You know, man, it's tough being Bobby BattleHawk walking around town, especially on the south side, dude. You hang out at a place like Spanish Society, these kids, they're around a legend, man. They ain't doing much athletics these days outside of the bedroom, you know, but I'll be damned if I didn't drop just dimes on these little kids while their little dime piece moms was watching from the sidelines, you know what I mean? You know, when you got a couple 6, 7 single moms lined up hoping for some dude just play a little catch with their little boys, you know. Oh, hey, look, man, this week BattleHawks, they did us proud. And you know who else did us proud? Each and every one of you that showed up to that game, tailgated like a damn fool, had Stan Kroenke pinatas. We were just beating the hell out of. There were cars on fire. St. Louis packed the damn joint. I've never been so damn proud to say that I'm from the Gateway City, man. So I'll tell you what, next week we're going to do it again. Let's get on down there. This time it's on Saturday. Here's the best part about it, dudes. I already had an engagement Saturday night, so I'm going to get on down there for a little tailgate Watch who we playing? Hell, it don't matter. I think it's maybe DC or who gives a shit. We're gonna go down there. BattleHawk's gonna beat the hell out of them, and then we're gonna go down to True Man's place in Soulard. You guys know what I'm talking about. Trim Bonanza, if you know what I mean. We're gonna sing you some songs. Bobby BattleHawk's gonna be there. Bigfoot Willie Jr. Maybe you heard of him. He's gonna be there. The boys for Who's Sophisticate. Whatever, man. Point is, get your ass down to True Man's and Soulard for that fucking total puss palace, if you know what I mean. Cacao is the law.
That's a 20-point win. Cover the spread. BattleHawks, baby. Cacao.
It's the Bobby BattleHawk Show. Dude, man.
We're 8 up, dude.
Locked up, posse, smoker rolling.
Locked up, posse, smoker rolling, baby.
Buddy,
You know,
I gotta say, we had a studio audience. It played real well. It was good.
Bobby BattleHawk is he's my hero.
Let's see some of these comments. Y'all's babies have my heart. We're not focused on the children right
the children
now.
couldn't even make a tackle.
Bobby and Kyle
biggest game of the
Turley
year.
need to do a video together passing the ball. I know. Victory and Dracar Noir.
You know what I mean?
I love
All right,
this so much.
just to be clear, Dracar was the shit back in the day,
We
boys.
know.
Like, still kill them broads. Don't act like it won't. It still
Right.
works. Their olfactory senses still fire the same way.
What's great is we were gonna look up who the BattleHawks play next week, except we were like, no, it'd be funnier if you just don't know. You're like, who gives a shit?
We're actually playing the Seattle Defenders.
Yeah, the Defenders.
Well, they played a poor game the other day.
Yeah, they sure did. Well, they didn't show
Okay,
up to play.
we're talking to a guy who just won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? The reason I love the BattleHawks so much.
Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Chiefs did
And
win
the
Super
reason
Bowl.
I'm so happy for you. The reason I am so excited about the BattleHawks is because here in St. Louis it was a whole deal when the Rams left. It was like, you guys aren't real sports fans. And it's like, well, we kind of are. You guys have been shitty for a while.
You've been terrible
and we
for
still,
15 years.
And we still kind of support you. Like, we'll even support you.
Even
like,
when
For
it
15
was down.
years,
Listen,
wait. We are Chiefs fans. You get no sympathy here.
I know.
Yeah, but
then
you
they took
were.
our
Yeah,
team
but the
away.
Chiefs. Listen, because I grew up a Chiefs fan when St. Louis didn't have a team. The Chiefs were always competitive. I cried plenty of times because Marty Schottenheimer was the most boring fucking play caller ever. But
Right.
the point is like there was always kind of a squad out there. They were never going to go 2-14 like the Rams did for a decade. Like they were the embarrassment of the league. So don't come in here crying your sorrows, pal.
Yeah, you just won the Super Bowl. The reason I love the BattleHawks is, though, it's the biggest joke that this many
How
people
dare you.
have been in on.
How dare you?
A joke? Call it a joke? No, not like it's an
No,
actual
you're
joke.
absolutely right.
Wait a
But the
minute.
joke is this BattleHawk. Like, I think the name has so much to do with the success of how this team has been portrayed because of the cacaw. It caught fire in this city, Josh.
As
It's
did
a
the cars
phenomenon.
during the tailgate.
Exactly, dude.
That was not smart.
I say,
on their
cars
part.
on-
You can't park on Coles. It's been a long time since we had tailgates out here.
I saw a guy.
This is true.
I saw a guy put on a BattleHawks helmet. He lit a table on fire with, I assume, Everclear. Lights it on fire. Everyone has their phones out. I've seen it from 19 different angles. It's funnier when it's not the actual phone he's talking to.
I don't think I've seen this yet.
Because you see this dude and he's like, here's what I'm going to do. It's BattleHawk Nation or whatever. He's like, caw. And then he's supposed to jump through it.
Through the burning table.
Yes, and then his foot just goes through it. So now he's straddling the burning part of the table. It singes his nutsack to the point he runs away, and everyone's like, ah! And it becomes the joke that he burned his nuts on this table. The best video I saw was a dude was on a ladder, and he's gonna break through one of those card tables.
See, this is what happens when wrestling runs the fucking football
Thank
league.
you.
This is what happens.
Lands, he lands with his body. Okay, so like you want to land with your shoulder about here. He's jumping this way. His shoulder lands about right here. So his hip is a pivot point. He
I love watching people
smashes
fall, man.
his skull on the ground to the point where he's like, no, it's fine. He was fine. He's drunk. So
Smashed his skull, he's all right.
he's checking for blood. Yeah, his brains were everywhere. Dude, it's hilarious, man. No, he's checking his head, and and they're like, finish it, because he kind of broke it or whatever. And you could tell he's embarrassed a little bit. He didn't actually break. He fell on his ass. They got this on camera. So he's like, okay. So he jumps back on it and lands like, it becomes like almost like a half hammock for him. So he's like half stuck in it, and he's drunk. So he's like, yeah. Well, the dude who was riling everybody up at the beginning goes about 220, I'm going to say. And he's like, opportunity, and runs and finishes the job on him with an elbow and drives him through the entire table. It's phenomenal, dude. We'll post them.
Wow, for real. I got to come to a tailgate party.
I'll do a clip video of the BattleHawk.
The craziest thing is that attendance is growing and TV ratings are still going
so
on. Everyone
good.
thought like the first week is going to be this novelty, and as it's going on, like I'm actually really surprised the XFL didn't put it in 7 other cities that didn't have an NFL team. Like put one in Oakland. Oakland would have went fucking bananas.
Exactly.
You know,
because what happened, I think, is we fit 68,000 at the Dome or something.
A little more than that, yeah.
A little more than that. But right around there, 70,000.
Yeah.
We only opened it to 28, 29.
The deal the XFL has,
signed a deal on the lower level.
Yes. Right. Okay. But you figure, as far as rabid fans went for football, there was probably 25,000
It was loud in that joint.
That's surprising.
So
there was 29,741.
Yes. And like to what you were saying, there's probably that amount in every city that's football hungry but doesn't have a team.
No doubt.
So if they, if
they would have put it in San Antonio instead of Dallas, or
no doubt,
yeah,
or Houston,
Columbus, Ohio,
Ohio.
Little Rock probably could have got a team. They're right there on the cusp of being big enough.
Maybe somewhere down there.
Nebraska,
Tulsa, Oklahoma City would have been great.
Omaha. Oklahoma
City would have packed the joint.
Let's name all the cities.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, well, now we'll do a live schedule read too. Let me pull up the schedule here.
Oh shit! But no, the Bobby BattleHawk thing is honestly one of my favorite things. We posted. If you're not part of the BattleHawk groups, join the BattleHawk group.
We should have a Hoosier freaking tailgate day.
Oh, let's do it. We're going down next weekend.
Well, the sing along is the same day as the BattleHawks game.
Yes, the sing along.
So if you guys want to get downtown a little bit earlier,
from BattleHawks,
I gotta be Bobby BattleHawk, and then we're just gonna roll right on into the Southside sing along.
Oh God, it's gonna get so weird. It's gonna get so weird this weekend. I can't wait.
See, I gotta
so weird.
Take care of things at home.
Okay, well, get your ducks in a row. And we'll
I know.
Go. So that's Bobby BattleHawk. He's great.
He's fine.
We take up our
I'm
entire
just
show
say,
day.
if the Hoosier
Craig.
year winds up with Bobby BattleHawk, I'll be okay with it.
He was barking up her tree.
I know.
Buddy.
He was barking up her tree.
Let me show people this. Stephen Craig Southside Sing Along and Music Fest.
We do have some amazing acts that are going to be out there. You guys should take the chance. Jessica Evans is coming.
Jessica Evans just told me to boot someone out of the group, and she's up so high on my list that I just did it. And because basically I'm on the show and I'm busy, I would have checked it out, and I'm going to after the show. But I told her I was like, anything you say, I'm gonna.
Okay, well, Jessica
I'm gonna check it out on the show. But she said, "When out, get him out."
She's working for it, huh?
She really is.
Oh yeah,
you don't get to just put your name in the hat.
Okay. The first.
But she's working.
She is working.
She's working for
Shout
it.
out to Jennifer Barra too.
I love that girl.
Great
by the
Hoosier
way.
of the year.
Jennifer Barra.
Your better half.
She is the better half. I have to say.
Who is the first Hoosier of the year?
Brian Kessler.
All right, that leads me. Perfect segue, Craig.
Wow.
Because Steve, where were you at this weekend?
Where were you at this weekend, Steve?
I was off the Niagara River at a little cabin in the woods with my boys. It was supposed to be 12 of us. Then it was 8 of us, and then it ended up just being 4 of us that went on a fishing
So
trip.
everybody got their own comfortable bed. That's what I heard out of that.
Well, yeah, I guess we could all slept in different beds. What the fuck? That was dumb.
Not a good selling point for next year's
well,
show.
anyway.
Probably didn't have to turn the heat up as much.
Yeah, a lot of empty beds. But I went with Brian Kessler, and I love Kessler to death, and his cousin Terry, who, God love him, he's a little bit of an Eeyore, but we made him laugh the whole weekend. His laugh is infectious.
Oh, I love his material.
He did say something to the effect of, we had AT&T and we're streaming the Blues game, and he can't make a call on his Sprint phone. So you get that, right?
Oh, nice. I get it. I'm on Sprint. I get it.
And he goes, man, even if I had AT&T, I probably wouldn't even get service. And I'm like, why do you say that? He's like, I don't know, just probably wouldn't. And I'm like, oh shit, I thought, oh fuck, man. I was like, or you might. Because that's the one thing about this Hoosier group. The positivity and love that you bastards put out into the world is so awesome. That's why Jennifer Bear is Hoosier of the Year. So that's what she does.
She's awesome.
So it's settled down. Okay, we got it. She's great. Jesus.
And she's hot.
Yeah.
And
whatever
sorry,
you say,
I could just
man.
go on and on about Jennifer Bear.
Let's do that. We got 40 minutes.
Frank,
Go ahead.
We got 40 minutes to kill. So I go there with Brian, his cousin, and his other cousin's a fucking cop. Oh fuck.
Sweet. Cops are people too, just so you know.
Well, I told him. So if you are here to book me, sir, you have to tell me. Otherwise, that's entrapment.
That's well known.
That's well known. I've
case
seen the
law.
Sean Connery movie where Catherine Zeta
through the lasers. Through the lasers, she does the fucking.
You know what I'm talking about. That was
these
so
kids will
good.
never know what we
They'll
had to
never
jerk off
know.
to as kids.
They'll never
They
ever
will never
know.
understand.
Oh, this
it.
is where you learn TV law. Okay, I grew up with fucking Matlock. All right.
Yeah, we can tell you jerked off to Matlock.
Oh, you know there was the second.
I have some pictures, so I will give you guys a slideshow of my vacation to the Niagara River here coming up.
So I have a question for you.
What?
Who caught the biggest fish and who caught the most fish?
Okay, here's the deal. That's
Let's
what I'm
get
getting
down to the nitty-gritty,
into.
the
So I love
important
love both of Brian's cousins. They were awesome to hang out with. I'm glad it was just us four. Got to shoot a gun. They made me a longbow. They made me a stick because I said, man, if I wish I had a longbow.
You don't shoot often, do you?
Yeah. No, the fourth time I've ever shot a gun.
Yeah, we got to change that.
Okay, so the first time I shoot it, I'm like, and I don't even know how to hold it. And he's like, okay. And he goes, after I shot it, he goes, I don't even know where that bullet went. Like he was concerned that it had gone over the hill we were shooting into. And I'm like, I don't know, man. So the next time I'm like, what do I do? How do I hold this thing? Like I forget. I'm a video game guy or whatever. Because I was like, blacka, 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 blacka. And he goes, don't do that with my gun.
Yeah, that's good.
Blacka, blacka.
They're not toys.
That's what. And when he hands it to me,
they're kind of toys.
When he
Once
hands it
you realize
to me,
they're not toys, then they become toys.
I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, how do I didn't. So the second time I was fucking on it though. You know what I mean? I was ready. Yeah. And so he showed me how to do it. And the can, I got a picture of the can. I think maybe on my slideshow.
There were 3 holes in it.
And mine was the center one.
Not bad for a 20-round clip.
Thank you. It was my second shot. It was my second shot. It was my second shot.
It was for me to the microphone.
Mike, you want to say a word?
That was a great pick.
Thank you, Mike. Mike's our pick guy. If you haven't seen him on Instagram,
That is a great picture.
So this is the Niangua. I got up early. They didn't want to fish as hardcore as I wanted to, and I would have went to Bennett Springs. We fished hardcore this day, but this spot of the river had dick all. I couldn't catch anything. When we got to, did
you get out there in waders?
Oh, fuck yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah. And so I had my waders and shit. We got out there. It was a kind of a little hike to get down there. I walked down there the first day in the morning, and walking back up, I was like, oh, daddy. I had to walk backwards, I'm like, the thighs, calves, holy shit. So it's quite a walk from the cabin we stayed at. But fishing was good here. You could walk all the way down to where that smoke was. That was me. I smoked a little blunt out there earlier, so I just blew some of the smoke out there. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that was a big hit.
I know, you know what I'm saying. So that was a good area. You couldn't really fish too much in there. Few bites, nothing. But we went to Bennett Springs.
Right down the road?
Right down the road, 15 minutes away. And the Niangua right outside of Bennett Springs is fucking, it's catching. It's hot. When you found... I was looking up online. They said eddies are where the smallmouths hang out and trout are in the stream. So you could literally I took a pink worm with a sinker halfway up, about 18 inches up, would throw it into the stream.
Bang it off the rocks.
Just let it go. Keep flipping it. Then I'd hold it still. Keep flipping it until it was tug, tug, tug. Boom! Had one. You're pulling up against it. I put a rooster tail on. Every time you sent it into a little eddy, a cove, every other freaking cast was a smallmouth from 8 inches to 12 inches.
Nice.
Brian caught a 20 and a half inch rainbow. I caught one that was slightly bigger, and goddamn Brian. Okay, here's what's going on too with Brian.
Throw those rooster tails away and get blue foxes.
I'm not throwing anything away. I paid good money for that. Like you turned down $1 million. Okay, I will. I need to talk to you about that. God damn him. Okay, so
take the $1 million.
So me and Brian are out there in waders. We hit that up all Saturday. We were out there, and Brian, we wanted to eat some fish. Well, you can keep 4 fish, and I'm not even sure if you really could because the signs are so kind of. Is the park closed? The park was closed, but you can fish right here in this spot. Well, this spot has these rules, and this spot has different rules, and this spot's part of the park. This spot's not. So there's a lot of shit. So I was like, I'm not keeping any fish just to take that risk. I'm good. We had chicken breasts back at the place. I'm like, we got stuff to eat. We're good. So
real?
Brian catches that huge one.
Oh, there you go.
And he's like, I'm going to keep it because it was like kind of hooked
Damn
in there,
right.
kind of good. And we were like, So he keeps that one, keep 3 other probably 15 inches that looked small next to the other one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're like 10 inches. I got a picture of them. I can't lie. So we ended up taking them. He's bashing them. We didn't have our stringer. He left it back. So now we're all the way across the water. So he can't walk back because it got up to here on our waders. Like it was, and some of the rocks were slick as shit.
Yeah, and that's cold water.
Oh, it's cold. At the end, I was so drained because we left at like 4. I'm just like, I would just look at the bank and go 1 foot after another, dude. Because walking with the current is fine. When I was trying to walk against it, I'm like, I don't know if I can. Like at this point, I would swim to fucking the side and deal with the wet clothes afterwards. I fell and got my whole arm soaked, and I was like, no. But I stayed up, fucking made it to the end, changed clothes, got naked. Whatever. So we end up going. He catches those, but he's bashing the fucking trout in the head with a club on the riverbank to kill them, so that they wouldn't suffer on land.
No, you need to keep them alive.
Keep them as fresh all the way to the
That's
grill,
what I
man.
said, and he's clubbing them on the goddamn bank like an animal. The other fishermen were not impressed with this thing that was going on on the riverbank. Okay, and
it's pretty barbaric.
It's really funny too because all of they're older guys, like probably in their 60s and 70s, who are out there fishing, and they all have gray mustaches and like little hats, and
they were looking at you jealously.
No,
they're just looking at him like looking in the past.
No, there was someone like observing us from the side going, oh, there's a little trout fisherman over there. Look at him. He's cute. He doesn't have his spots yet. He hadn't turned all gray. He's good. So that was kind of funny to see my future in a lot of people's faces. That was fun. But everyone was so nice sharing ideas and baits. But so, I mean, it was catching to the point where I can't wait to go back out there. Like
Right
it
on.
was that fun. I'll just show you some quick pictures of what we did here. That's where we stayed. That's the cliff overview. That's one of the smallest.
Nice little
That was
smiley
the first one I caught because I was like, if you only catch one, at least you have a picture of the fish you caught. After this, when I caught it on the third cast, I go, put your phone away and just fucking
Enjoy this
have
day of
fun,
fishing.
dude.
Yep.
Because I wanted to bring my GoPro back the next day. Fucking Brian wouldn't go back out there. I was like, I should have drove myself. That's the only regret I had. I should have drove myself. So that's the big one. That's 20.5 inches there.
It's a good one
You can
there.
tell it has the look of fear from Brian bashing its skull in over and over.
Just hit it with
But
a
it had all
ball
those
peen
fish
hammer.
eggs. Do you see all those fish eggs came out? Can you use that as bait?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was thinking a lot of the eggs look just like, or a lot of the bait look just like that.
Yeah, you'd have to put it in like a nylon or something.
Oh, really? It won't get mushy around your hook?
Yeah, it'll fall right
Okay,
off.
okay. I was wondering that.
But no, the blue fox spinner baits, they look just like the rooster tails, but their blade is shaped a little different.
Okay.
And it will always turn, no matter how slow. Rooster tails, I find that your line will get twisted up and they won't turn. The blade won't turn.
I'm
The
here
whole
for this
bait will.
shit.
Okay.
So the blue
I'm in.
foxes, I found that the blade always turns and it doesn't spin your line up as bad.
You got stock?
I should.
All right. So then we got. So here's the note Brian left in the journal. What a great year for a leap. What a great year because it's leap year. What a great year for a leap. And the floor was the perfect size to play Twister with 3 of my closest guy friends. I'll give this cabin 5 out of 5 stars. Greatest place to figure out who you are with the boys! Exclamation point.
Oh, good for him.
So that was fun.
I'm glad you guys had an intimate
There's the
weekend.
guy.
I
who-
wish that guy had a buzz.
No, he didn't. He didn't. But we had a great time, man. I encourage everyone to go.
Check out the
next
HooSoph
time.
Fishing Club.
HooSoph Fishing Club on Facebook. That's what I want to do. I want to experience Missouri because
Buddy, I
Missouri.
experienced some Missouri this week too.
Dude, the
There's
places
no place
that
like home.
the places he's shown me in Southwest Missouri alone, like the Big Piney, I didn't even know the Big Piney existed, and that area is fucking beautiful, dude.
All over this state
bro.
is beautiful.
Scotty's leaving. See you, Scotty.
It's got to be good.
No, dude. Missouri has so much to offer when it comes to outdoors. We need to start taking advantage of it every chance.
I take the kids out. Miss and I take the kids out on the trails as often as we can. The boys and I went and hiked Macedon the other day. First time since I blew up my friggin' ankle a couple weeks ago. So that was a nice little challenge. But we were going to take them out on a Sasquatch hunt. We were going to try and meet up with Bigfoot Willie Jr. Had a pretty good little time, man. Had the boys go out there, but.
Where exactly did you go?
I was Macedon.
Okay.
Macedon State Historic Site.
Is that out 55? Is that
Route 55. It's like a Barnhart area,
okay.
Imperial. And what was cool about it was I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, I fucked you,
know,
up.
that's
We're
all right.
bringing the kids out. We're
Oh yeah,
getting to
so I'm
experience
reading this
Missouri.
Aubrey Marcus book, Own the Day, Own Your Life. It's great.
Okay.
It's fucking awesome. Like I feel like it's an actual actionable plan
How
to
old
put
is that?
together. It just came out last year, I think. It's got his buddy Colin, Cotillionaire. Gifted it to me. First chapter's about waking up, owning the first 20 minutes of your day. If you own the first 20 minutes, then you can go about owning your day. And so the idea is you get up, you don't snooze, you hydrate immediately. Once you hydrate, you go out, you get some blue light, get some sunlight, take a walk, move your body. Those are the three things. Just water, movement, light.
Dude, I can't believe you said that because my life has changed for the better the last week. Instead of right when I wake up, I've been drinking water because I've been kind of feeling sick. Like just around 8 o'clock. Like if I wake
it's
up
nothing
at 6:30,
that we didn't know.
I just kind of feel and I was like, you know what? Start at the fucking basic.
Yep.
What don't you do? Drink water.
Yep.
Okay. Pound a glass of water in the morning.
Get some
I did
salt
it on
in
my
there.
trip when I drank all. I
Yeah.
never drink booze. I pounded water at the end of the night. Felt pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Granted, I was fishing, baby. Okay.
But anyway, so from that he was like talking about the first part of it focuses on the water and about we've got friends that structure water and put minerals back in the water, and he talks about how the best thing you can get is some natural spring water. Well, then he says there's a site, findaspring.com. And so I go and check out this website, findaspring.com. You put in your zip code, it'll show you where all the closest natural springs are. Some of them are paid, some of them are open, whatever. You can go there, check it out. So I'm like, oh, well, we already, get big 5-gallon jugs of water and not drink out of the tap. I'll take that. I'll boil it down or whatever and, put it back in the deal. So I'm looking up what the closest one. Closest one's Macedon State Park. And there's like a forum underneath each site where people kind of tell you where at on the trail to go to get the stuff.
Oh my God.
It's awesome. So I was like, oh, dude, I'm going to go get some spring water. And then I end up talking to Ryan. And Ryan's like, oh, we were thinking about doing a hike at Macedon. I'm like, funny enough, I was going to Macedon too. Let's do this shit. So we walked the Macedon deal. We found the spring. Pretty cool shit, man.
How's the hike there? Is that where the boulders are, or is that?
No, that's Elephant Rocks.
Okay.
Rocks.
Okay.
Dude, in Arcadia Valley, the water I ended up taking. It's pretty clear. It's pretty close to the road, so I would definitely boil it. Just
you
because
weren't sucking out of the
not
stream.
straight out of it. Like some people say that it's rated as 4.5 stars for cleanliness. So I mean, people say that it's pretty clean, but it's pretty close to the road. Like you wouldn't think it's kind of hidden in plain sight, but there's enough traffic around it that I'm like, I'm at least gonna boil it down a little bit. Anyway, but you were talking about Elephant Rocks, dude. The Arcadia Valley, all of that down that part of
Because those are
Missouri.
pretty close together, are they?
No. Macedon is up in Imperial. Elephant Rocks, you would take 21 south.
Keep going.
Way
You go way south.
Yeah, it's
you go
down
down
by
there,
Lesterville.
and actually like
Oh shit! Like a couple hours.
almost to Farmington.
Hour and a half?
hour and a
Okay.
half. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
yeah, it's
Because that's what I'm saying. Like I know I've been to all these places, but they're all just so fucking
well,
magical
you've
and
been
different.
down by there. You went to Tom Sock
yep.
with Jenny, which is awesome. If you guys go to Tom Sock in wet
That
season,
waterfall?
it's the highest point in Missouri. They got a running waterfall in wet season. It's awesome. Miss and I went swimming in it, dude. It's great.
That's what I'm saying. Missouri is
Johnson
still-
Shut-ins
You
is one of the
guys should
coolest
try
little
the
spots ever.
western part of the state too.
Oh,
I know
buddy,
you're
I've been-
prejudiced over
Yeah,
there.
man. In Polk County, we got this waterfall.
First off,
where go ahead and
I
sit
spent
up
more
on-
time on the Elk River down in Knoll, Missouri.
That is pretty down there.
It's pretty, but man, it's a party. Like we
Yeah.
used to go down there, and that was like that was our like spring break on the river. Knoll River,
Really?
we'd go down to River Ranch, and we would. I mean, we would have 60.
Is that like the
70
HooSoph?
people.
Like
Yeah, it's very much like that. Knoll, Missouri. It's down.
Yeah.
It's kind of close to Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. It's just kind of tucked down in the corner.
by
And,
Springfield.
It's south of Spring, but more closer to Joplin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like when I go down to Dr. Rourke's, man, down around Cassville, it's just so pretty down
No doubt.
Where exactly is Cassville?
Berry County.
fuck is Berry
Really
County?
southwest.
Okay, really southwest.
Yeah.
How far away is Joplin and Springfield?
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Because I mean, the Springfield area and I feel like right now it is still a kind of hidden gem.
Oh, dude, I lived there for 20
And
years.
just-
The rate of growth is insane. Like when I moved there in '98, for the most part, around our entire subdivision, it was farmland for the most part, and now it is almost unrecognizable going to the house that I lived half my life in.
If you don't go to Springfield and you show up a year
it's ever
later,
changing.
The
coolest thing about it though, Springfield, I swear to God, Springfield has the dopest downtown scene.
Springfield
of any city
Columbia. Springfield's bigger than Columbia, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Springfield's third biggest city. It's probably like 350 in the metro. Probably
I think in the metro
400.
it's still like 180.
Oh, okay.
They say, but
now that they don't even count the surrounding areas.
Right.
I went down the wormhole looking up Niangua River fishing. And there's a guy who does real estate who drives around with his truck to different properties along the Niangua and gives you an idea. He's like, okay, here's the road. And then we have built this gravel road that comes off here, but you can also have a gravel road access here. And down by the river, they take the gravel bar, bulldoze one road down there so that it's just a clearing. Then you can do whatever you want. So it's a tract of land with a road going this way to the river and a road going this way to whatever property you want to build on there, so that you're hidden back in your little property and you have river access off this main road. And this dude just went driving around. I'm like, holy shit. And this land was fucking gorgeous. It was trees with a meadow in the middle and then like a little patch of trees there. And I'm like, what? This exists everywhere in Southwest Missouri.
It exists everywhere throughout rural America.
you might want to think about
True.
investing in
It's
something
pretty cool.
like that now.
I do want to.
If you want to fish,
It was
when you're-
$500 down and like $100 a month or something fucking insane.
The other night we were down in Arkansas having dinner with Hunt, and he was explaining how those trophy streams in Colorado are. They're privately owned.
Oh, really?
Like in Missouri, you can own the land, but a navigable
you
waterway.
can't.
Yes.
Not so in Colorado. People actually buy sections of the river and they will string cables across. John has had to buy into a fishing club
Just in
to
order
get
to fish those
access
Bullshit.
to go fish.
Bullshit. Because the rivers we got going right now, like the Niangua right outside Bennett Springs.
I used to work with a
that
surveyor.
hot spot is unreal, dude.
Yeah.
I used to work with a surveyor, and that's what I would ask him. So, because if you go to if you go to Washington State Park, where we go hang out or whatever, and they got the mudslides, that mudslide has been gradually going back. It's probably 30 feet further back than it was when I was there as a kid, you know? And technically, his established property line there's an imaginary boundary there, but he doesn't own access to the river is basically how it works. And you can own basically into the river, but you have to let people pass through.
Oh, yeah. That should be the deal.
Sure.
I mean, come on. We got some people saying about the Black River in Lesterfield. That's Jennifer Barris saying that. I heard the Black River is one of the clearest rivers in all of America. Like, we have some rivers.
We got great rivers, man.
We
I'm
got
a river
some
rat. I get lake life, but I'm a river rat, you know?
I
get
grew
them both.
up
I love them both.
on the Little Sauk River.
Yeah.
Lakes freak me out. I'm not a lake guy.
Oh,
I'm not a water
see,
guy.
Stockton
I'm
Lake
a
is my
clear
jam.
creek river guy. Like, even if I'd have went down in my coveralls, at least I could have swam, or one of those beautiful old gentlemen could have saved me. But in a lake, I'm just gone. And who knows what kind of creepy stuff is hanging out at the bottom of a lake? You don't know.
Well, once you get to the bottom of the lake, I can assure you are not worried.
You don't know. You don't know what kind
You
of
ain't
creepy
worried
stuff
about
is
by the
out there.
time you sink 80 feet.
What if I build a fucking suit? You don't know me, Josh. You don't know what I can do.
We're going to the lake together. I don't want to die.
Hey,
save me.
I'm just going to throw a curveball here. Talk about cannabis. I didn't have a psychedelic scrapbook plan, but there was an article. I think maybe you posted it.
What, the 550
The person
hits?
that took 550 hits of acid
and cured their bipolar?
Had bipolar. Okay. Person accidentally took 550 hits of acid. I think this was covered by Vice. And, obviously that is an amount that
none of us are going to try that willingly.
Don't do that.
It's the Shane Moss joke.
It was
the vial of acid.
The 550 hits is such an insane amount of acid.
I cannot imagine.
That's enough acid to get 550 people high.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Maybe 1,010.
No doubt. I've been there. Yes,
Okay.
no doubt.
And so gram for gram, LSD.
Prayers for Michelle and Norabella, please. Throw that
Yes,
out right now.
indeed. Hope
Shout
to see
out,
him
shout
soon.
out
Shout
to
that
the
out right
Nolans,
now.
Shout out to Michelle and Norabella. Prayers to them.
Prayers
Yep.
to them. We got you. All right. 550. Where?
So gram for
How'd he
gram,
do that?
LSD is more powerful than most of them. Most drugs are weighed out in like milligrams typically, and LSD is micrograms. It's an extremely powerful psychedelic we talk about all the time. A trip can sometimes last 12 hours or more.
Oh yeah, it can.
Or more.
Yes, it can.
Or more.
Or more. A lot of times, or more.
Because of the sensitivity, it's easy to overdose on LSD. But what happens when people take extreme amounts? The subject of a new report co-authored by Mark Hayden, the executive director of MAPS Canada and an adjunct professor at the University of British Columbia, which looked at extreme cases of LSD consumption, revealing some bizarre health outcomes. One of the cases covered in Hayden's study was that of a 15-year-old girl with bipolar disorder. She was one of 20 people who accidentally OD'd on acid at the summer solstice party in Canada and took a whopping
Canadian acid, so you know it's good.
1,100 micrograms. For the next 6 hours, her behavior became erratic. She lay on the floor in the fetal position, tightly clenching her arms. Her friends thought she was having a seizure and called an ambulance. No one was sure if she was actually seizing, lost consciousness, or was just lost in the overwhelming experience. The next morning, her father visited her in the hospital, and she told her dad, "It's over." He thought she meant the acid trip, and she clarified that no, her bipolar illness, which had caused daily manic episodes, seemed to be cured. A week later, her symptoms had not returned. Doctors followed her progress for over a year, and nearly 2 decades later, she still hasn't experienced episodes of depression or mania outside of postpartum depression. Looking back on the overdose, she said it felt like her brain chemistry had somehow been reset.
Oh, well, because that's like Craig, Mr. Eat the Dose, and like
When it came out, I had a 6-foot hard on with a cheeseburger at the end of it. I said, "Read the fucking blog, kid. Well, read the blog."
HooSophisticate.com, mycelial.media. Check out the websites because he's been talking about this a lot. Just that we've been a part of the scientific, we're a part of the scientific community, but being alongside of it, seeing what they've been
Participating in the discussion.
Yes, that sometimes, when we watch this movie where they gave this fucking lumberjack 2.5 grams
of psilocybin.
No other antidepressant worked on this guy. And so they said, we're going to give you 0.5 grams as the first dose.
Yeah, it was 1, actually. They gave him 1 gram as an introductory dose, and then a couple weeks later, as their threshold dose, they gave 2.5 grams. And I'm sitting there like...
And you could tell this guy was like, oh.
He was so unmoved by everything. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, give the guy some medicine. For fuck's sake.
He was a lumberjack.
230 pounds of solid muscle. Hit him with 5 grams and fucking hold his hand.
He was a farmer, worked in the fields of like the Welsh countryside.
Yeah.
And it was people who could not be treated by any antidepressant. Yep. And finally they were like, oh, and some of them were like, whoa. Like one guy was like,
had a big change. Had a big change in his life.
I'm okay. No. And he was fear, and then he was happy and laughing. So you're like, okay, it worked on him.
So he was working through some things.
Yeah, and he came out like, he was looking at his wife like,
and that was
like
actually kind of cool because
looking
they
at
talked
him.
about the anxiety of being the partner whose spouse is going into this maybe healing thing that maybe they won't feel wanted anymore. They won't want to be with them anymore. So there's this huge anxiety attached to the partners that are seeing their loved ones go through this ceremony or this, not this ceremony, but this process or whatever. And when he came out, like they were just two little lovebirds, man. That shit fucking really hit me hard. But they picked the 3 toughest cases they had to showcase, which I think showing objectivity is very important.
That was good.
I wish what they would have done was show the 18 people, just even in like one slide, be like, all of these people were successful. All of these people haven't had their depression come back. All of these people are still on the... But instead, it was like, hey, no, we're doing the hard work. And they mentioned that the 18 of the 21 people were better off.
Sure.
But like it focused on the fact that these 3 people, like, okay, we need to maybe look into something differently. You know, like...
And the lovebirds were the one couple. The lumberjack was the other one. But the other couple, and this is something to think about as something we talk about all the time, is their environment was the shittiest environment.
They lived in squalor.
Just complete. Like they had a flood and they hadn't really cleaned up from the flood, and they had their kids there, and everyone was just kind of like apathetic about the whole thing. Well,
tending like a little shitty garden.
Yeah, and the father was going through the whole process, and you can tell it affected him. He wanted to make changes. He did. Cool. But he gets back home
for like a month.
Yes, and he was playing with his kids more, and his wife.
They were out walking, exercising.
But then his wife's kind of like, well, you get to go do this, and what about me? And the kids are like, well, we still live in this fucking shithole in the day. So it drug him right back to where he was, to where it was that kick he needed, but the therapy the whole family needed is something that has to be talked about more. And we actually asked a question to the professors, like, do they do anything for the family? Because the biggest fear was the wife going, oh, I hope they don't. He's not like, who are you?
Yeah.
When he comes out, because they don't know what he's going through. And because it sounds crazy, but to be able to integration and get therapy with your family, such a huge deal. God dang, we're at an hour 45 already.
We are. Shit. You know what time that is?
Commercial time, and then we come back with streaming picks.
Yeah, I think so.
Because we got to pay the bills around here, okay, people?
Paying bills is
right.
important.
Come on. All right, we'll come back. Maybe we'll say goodbye to Josh. Josh, plug your stuff one more time. Unless you got you've been watching any TV or anything good lately?
No,
okay,
I've been so busy.
I didn't
well, let's talk about Homegrow Solutions then real quick. What can you help people with? Why should they reach out to you?
We can help you get set up. We can help you find your genetics. Actually, I'm getting ready to start a new project here. We're going to do a fellow Hoosier. We're doing 13 acres of hemp this year.
Cool.
Over on the other side of the state.
Okay.
Just a lot going on.
Right on, man.
But getting your home grow set up and genetics is what we specialize in.
Right on. Reach out to you, Homegrow Solutions
yes.
on Facebook.
Follow me on Facebook. I have a website. I never check the email from that website. But Homegrow Solutions, Missouri at gmail.com or
There you go.
That's
that one you're going to get?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I'll check those.
And I mean, I'll give Josh my personal stamp of approval because for some reason, some people think that means anything.
I don't know why you would stake your reputation on this, but
I put something on the page.
It.
Only he is.
Kelly McGrail Payne is female Jesus. She actually goes down with the homeless people and washes their feet and feeds them bread.
Not
even shitting you. Like she's on the east side of St. Louis doing the Lord's work. No shit. So I told someone, I'm like, hey, you should. She's good. And someone's like, that's all I needed. Would you just say that? And I'm like, for real?
The world needs more of her.
That's dumb. Like you should not take my word for it. But anyway, Josh is a great person, and take my word for it. I would trust this guy with my life. For real, you are. He's been there since the beginning with Aiden's Alliance.
I love him.
Ashley's one of my favorite people in the world, let alone the cannabis community. So to see people like this, it's beautiful, man.
Honestly, the cannabis community,
the Canna fam.
They're Canna fam.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love here, and that's why we all come together. It's why we're all coming against 128. Because we care about our patients and our citizens.
I love you, man.
Are you eating cookie?
I did a couple times.
Jesus Christ.
I do want to say that I do have this awesome memory burned in my brain. It was at Cotillion, and we're just floating down the river, and it was probably about 136 degrees. I had more beads of sweat on me than I've ever seen in my life, and I just remember looking at Josh, and he's sitting on the front of his raft, and I was sitting on the front of mine, and I just...
That was just a
merrily down
day.
the stream, man.
Yeah, that was a beautiful
We just kept
weekend.
saying merrily down the stream. We just kept on rowing. That's where I'm at with you, brother.
Yeah.
Merrily down the stream.
Always.
Man. I love you, man.
Love you too. And you know what?
Tongue them. Oh, there you go.
We do it every single time now.
People get jealous of this, but you know what?
You guys are gonna get them mustaches intertwined
someday.
Go to commercial, for Christ's sake. Let's pay some bills.
A little Durban poison on there. And the old beard there. We'll see you in 6 minutes.
It's wedding cake day.
Hey girl, where you wanna go?
I don't care, I just love you.
Are you hungry? Do you wanna get something to eat?
I don't care, I'm kinda hungry.
Well, what sounds good?
Anything sounds good, you pick.
How about some Mexican?
No, I had that for lunch yesterday.
How about we get some Italian food?
Ew.
Okay, now you're not saying anything and just giving me a
want
look.
Something delicious.
What does that even mean?
I want to sit outside.
Applebee's, son?
Applebee's
No,
is
Applebee's.
gross. I'm not
Applebee's is
eating
good.
Applebee's.
I don't know why you're
Applebee's
always
fries
on
are
Applebee's.
disgusting.
Applebee's is one of
They're
my favorite darn
gross.
places to go ever.
I'm not eating Applebee's.
I wanna go to Truman's. Let's go to Truman's. Soulard, go to Truman's. I wanna go to Truman's. In Soulard, take me to Truman's. We agree on Truman's. I love Truman's. Soulard, I love Truman's. Soulard. Truman, 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 Truman.
Truman's in Soulard, a place we can all agree upon.
James Carlton. James Carlton. James Carlton. You gotta get your insurance. Gotta get that State Farm insurance.
You think you found the best insurance agent in the game? Well, I got news for you. I did, and it's James Carlton. State Farm. CarltonInsurance.net.
961-4800.
Hey everybody, I'm just making this post as a little public service announcement. I recently had a roof leak and I got online and called the #RoofBoys. They showed up and they didn't have a truck. They came out of the woods near my home, which was odd. When they showed up, I'm pretty sure they were children. The little one was aggressive. He was beating on my garage. He was shirtless and had a tattoo that said Bug Life. And the older one didn't have a ladder and said he would climb my roof by getting on the pillar, and he was slapping a spatula around, which I don't know what a spatula does for roofing. So if you want a reputable roofer, I recommend you go to Lifetime Roofing and Renovation, located in Webster Groves. They've been around since 2005, and they're grown men.
Hey guys, it's me, Kippy the Crazy Koala Bear, and I'm here to tell you about James Carlton Insurance.
Kids, quiet down.
It's the best.
Kids, quiet down and listen to Kippy.
Grown-ups need insurance, and Uncle James can help.
Right on.
Grown-ups need insurance. He's got the best reviews on Yelp. Grown-ups need insurance if they want to protect their house.
Yes, sir.
Grown-ups need insurance if they want to properly bury a spouse.
That's a bit morbid.
Grown-ups need insurance if they drive a truck.
Okay.
Grown-ups need insurance just so they don't get...
Whoa, Kippy, you can't.
Well, I was just going to say
cannot.
get in trouble.
Okay, well, it
you
sounded
don't
like
want
you
to
were
get
going
in trouble.
Sounded like you were going to say something else. James Carlton, State Farm Insurance. You can find him online at carltoninsurance.net, or you can call him at 314-961-4800.
Got rid of that guy.
Got rid of that guy.
About damn time. Oh, he's still standing over there. This is awkward. Best commercials ever. Thank you, Belinda.
It's
Carlisle.
that time. We come to it every week.
What time is it, Craig?
Well, let's just do it, buddy.
We like movies, so do you. We like internet, so do you. It's the streaming picks of the week, and it's the streaming picks of the week. It's the streaming picks of the week. We like the internet too.
Oh, well, I started a movie, and I started something that is your pick. I'm gonna wait until I get to that. One of the most phenomenal opens to a series or like a movie to open a series, I would kind of.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable. So I'm gonna let him get to that. I started to watch, and I did finish that. I think told you I finished that dating show with the walls from last week or whatever.
You didn't tell me you finished it.
Okay, I finished it. It's on.
Did they fall in love?
I didn't finish the actual show. Finished that part of it.
Like a second
so
part
they got
coming
another part coming out. That's good if you haven't checked out. That's called Blind Love, or Love is Blind. I started watching Mr. Right, which is getting shoved down my throat. It's got Sam Rockwell and Anna Kendrick.
I love both.
It's a very good rom-com. The first, I'm about 45 minutes into it. I haven't finished it yet. Hilarious.
Okay.
Like, not belly laugh, like, oh, Dumb and Dumber,
But
Billy Band.
constant quick wit.
Sam Rockwell is one of my favorite.
I absolutely love
He's
him.
a hitman, and she's a girl. She's a quirky girl. Can't really find the right guy, and the guys are cheating on her. And she's cute and fun and wants to be a good girlfriend. And he comes up, and like them meeting is great because he meets her at a gas station. He's like, "Hey, why don't we go out sometime?" And she's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Is that creepy? I don't know if that's creepy or." He's so smooth. He's like, I don't know if it's creepy or is it creepy? She's like, yeah, it's kind of creepy. He's like, well, creepy guy asks you if you want to go on a date. Is it better if I say it like that? He's just very quick-witted. Well, then later at the end of their conversation, he's like, how about I give you 2 words to convince you to go on this date with me? And is that one not working?
Does that one sound a little better? Yeah.
Yeah, that one's working. Damn it. Put it down. Throw it down. Or get that fucking thing out of there.
Make me look like a goddamn fool.
So he goes, I got 2 words that'll convince you to come with me on this date. And she's like, okay. And he's like, or else. And she's like, that's creepy. That's creepy. And he's like, okay. And he's dressed like a fucking cartoon character. It's a very funny rom-com so far. I recommend watching it with your gal or guy,
I'm into it.
Whatever you want to curl up with.
I'm
Do
into it,
man. It's fun.
I'm into it.
What you been watching?
What have I been watching? What I've been watching.
What have you been watching?
I told you to watch it. It was
I'm still
advertised when we came over to check out the Super Bowl at your place.
Still messed up.
And guys, Amazon Prime, there's a show. It's called Hunters. Okay? It is incredible. Al Pacino. It's the kid from the Percy Jackson movies,
Is
The
it
Lightning
him?
Thief. I think it is. I'm
I
just
wasn't
putting that
sure.
together.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it
I'm
was
just
him or
putting
not.
that together.
Okay.
There's a couple recognizable faces, but what it's about, it's like 1970s America and all of the Nazis that were secretly relocated to the United States. Because, guys, I mean, we only executed 12 people at the Nuremberg trials, right? So that
That's all we needed to do.
The whole idea is there's this game of chess going on between these transplanted Nazis.
The
and
opening is a game of chess.
and
with
this
these pieces.
underground, Jewish mercenaries. I guess not even just Jewish mercenaries. It's kind of it's almost comic bookish. You'll get to it as you roll on, like in the second, like they start introducing characters with like a comic book screen behind them, and it's really kind of cool how it's shot. But it is this really neat little human chess match.
Buddy, you told me how intense the open was.
It's the craziest first 10 minutes of any show.
And you undersold it. And you that's what's awesome. When people tell you, that's so good, and then you see it, and you're like,
underwhelmed.
Good. That still blew me away, just the action at the beginning.
Crazy.
And just
it's crazy.
Very cool.
Hunters, guys.
Do you know who wrote it? Or
I don't, man.
It's for Amazon Prime.
It's Amazon.
only,
It's
though,
an
right?
Amazon Prime, exclusive or
look at
show
these guys.
production.
Al Pacino. It's the second straight thing he's done that's just straight to.
It's a
service.
whole new ball game. It's a whole new ball game. He's out in another movie I just saw on Netflix. I'm like, man, Pacino's working,
dude.
He is working.
Work, man. Oh wow, we're at 2 hours, buddy.
Well,
we did it.
We did it, man.
I mean, Josh helped a little bit. We want to thank him just a little bit. He's still here.
I love that guy. I love him.
We got to thank Craig, the real deal. The real Craig is what we call him.
The OG Craig.
Love him. Mike Ote. Oh, we got Mike. Mike's got a pick. I forgot about Mike. Mike, I asked him if he got a pick. Mike.
Yeah, I got the Mind Hunter.
Oh, look, there's Matt. There's Matt on the screen. Hey, he's in the background. Look at him. What are you doing halfway inside of Craig's hand?
So yeah,
You
I'm
still
on.
don't know what way to go?
I never do.
Me neither. I can't get it. I can't get it. All right, Mike, what you got
All
for
right,
your
so
pick,
I'm
baby?
on Mind Hunter. It's about some FBI agents who profile serial killers.
Okay.
So they get in. They pretty much travel all over the United States and go wherever there's a crime, and try to figure out their patterns and try to catch them. And they just continuously do that. I'm only 2 episodes in, so
right on.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
it's really
Well-
good if you're into that thing.
What's it on?
Netflix.
All right, Mikey, my man. You got a weather update real quick?
It's a little chilly.
We love Mike. Mike, if you haven't checked out our Instagram, that's Mike. And he's putting together some gems for you people. So get on there and love us, all right? I mean, what do we got to do for these people?
What do
Maybe
we
put a
gotta do?
fucking picture of Bobby BattleHawk on there. The thing would blow up in a fucking...
I swear to God, if we played it again, our viewers would go up. We want to spike the analytics real quick?
Yeah, we probably should play it at the end of the fucking... Play it. Our show day used to be getting ready for the show. Now we strictly do Bobby BattleHawk stuff because we know.
It's we're just...
God,
kills my soul.
I know, it's fun though.
That's fucking great.
We belly laugh. If you could, we're gonna do a blooper reel at some point. The shit I was trying to get him to say today, he literally said, "I can't say that, Steve.
There's too much crossover."
Bobby BattleHawk has touched too many people."
That's what I said. Fuck. Dude, I've had the most random people reach out to me. The most random people that I haven't talked to in the longest time. They're like,
Bobby
dude,
BattleHawk, yeah.
thumbs up, bro. And I'm like, this is what you know me for? Do you have any idea what I've been doing the last 2 years?
Psychedelic scrapbook, growing brain cells, shit.
Yeah,
curing
shows that
Alzheimer's.
ayahuasca blends actually cause neurogenesis.
What?
Hey, man, when's the last time you hollered at a girl at a skirt walking down the road said, "Hey, girl."
You talking about a CUDA.
Damn, girl. Titty game bananas.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody's like, oh, he's fucking great.
We have fun here.
We're trying to change the world, guys. One
We
dick
have-
joke at a time.
We have fun here. We're going to see you guys on the 29th. We're going to see you there because you guys aren't morons and you're going to do the right thing. It's the Truman's Party, Stephen Craig's Southside Sing-Along and Music Fest.
Wait.
I got a bunch of kazoos. I'm not waiting. I wait for no man. Also check out the Missouri Cannabis podcast, and we're also going to release the Missouri Psychedelic podcast. That's on Craig now because he has all the files.
That's
so
true.
It's on Craig now.
It's on me.
So look, mine is up on all of the streaming things now, so you can get that anywhere. So that's good.
I was just waiting for a thank you for the RSS feed, but no, it was just going to just ride that
Well,
thing.
you know what he does? He bogarts how to do it. I'm like, Craig, how do you do the RSS feed?
I don't have time.
And you know
I
what?
don't have time to walk you through this.
Well, just come on, man. Help me out, dude. Come on, dude.
Come on, man.
We love all you Hoosiers. Thank you so much for joining us, for hanging out.
We need to acknowledge a couple of people.
Who?
Well, for one, we wish he was our dad. So, like, not talking about
James
him.
Carlton.
He's fantastical.
James Carlton.
James Carlton State Farm. Guys, you don't want to talk about insurance. You hate talking about insurance. The idea of insurance, it just drives you crazy. Why not have somebody that's just going to handle all of that for you?
Yeah.
You're going to pay less. You're going to be covered better.
Bobby BattleHawk should visit all the sponsors because Truman's already got more fucking views out of that. I'm going to say it right now.
Whore me out, okay? Did you guys see this fucking little girl at the BattleHawks game yesterday?
Yeah.
She's holding up a sign saying, "We'll trade Thin Mints for a football."
What?
Yeah. Little cookie hustling sugar pimp. They traded her a fucking football, though.
They did it.
You know?
I ain't know. You ain't pimping me out to nobody.
Pimping me out to nobody. Like, I ain't a box of Girl Scout cookies, man.
Shit. We can't wait to see you guys Saturday. We can't wait to see you at MoCan BizCon. I got a Sweetleaf video I can wrap up the show with if you want to.
You think you do?
Yeah, I do. I put it in there this time. I made it, so I'm gonna play it. Cookie hustling sugar fam. I love this shit.
That's what gets them, dude. That's
Every time.
what gets them. Guys, 7 o'clock on Monday nights. You can find us anywhere. Craig, what do we do? What do we do?
Follow us, Mycelial Media on YouTube. Like and subscribe,
What
would
do
you?
we
Mycelial.media. Send us an email if you want. Twain@mycelial.media. Go check out the Missouri Cannabis Podcast. We're going to put the Missouri Psychedelic Podcast out there. Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. They put roofs on top of your house. They put siding on the sides of your house. Maybe on the top of your house if you're like a weirdo and your house is on its side. Listen, wherever you want siding, they'll put it. They're going to advise against it, but they'll put it wherever you want it. You want it on top of your house, they'll put a roof over the top of it.
I've seen them put it on the floor.
Because they can.
Because they're good.
They're that good.
Yeah.
James Hardy boards?
Everywhere.
Built
an entire house out of it. I don't know if that's true.
No, it's not true. They're actually unbelievable at their craft.
They are.
And a little bit of all the business that they do goes back to the community. They are a community-first business.
If you just have questions, too. Like,
Yep.
if anyone in our group just straight up has questions about shit going on with your home, they're the people to go to.
No doubt. And,
Just
of course,
Google 'em.
True Man's and Soulard, man.
Fucking
We're going to go down there this Saturday. We're going to sing some songs. It's going to be after the BattleHawk. It's going to be after the BattleHawk football game. Good call. Good call. Good call, girl.
Good call, girl.
All right.
Oh,
we're going to go down there. We're going to tailgate, and then we're going to kick on down to True Man's place in Soulard, and it's going to be a Trambo Bonanza. All right. Guys, come on out. It's going to be a blast. True Man's and Soulard, they make it all possible. Steve's got a Sweet Leaf video for you, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. You're the best. Be well, Hoosiers.
Be well.
Announcing Sweet Leaf Emporium as a bronze sponsor at MoCan BizCon Plus Expo, March 2nd and 3rd in St. Louis. Join us at historic Union Station for the second annual MoCan BizCon Plus.